Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first day of the first tournament of the Razer Invitational. Today, I am joined by my friend and co-caster, Ryan Retro Bernard. How are things, my friend?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. As you mentioned, we're in day number 1 of 3. Of course, this is the first tournament of 6, and I could not be more pumped to kick things underway. Nonetheless, I mean, it's a great opportunity, and of course, hopefully we'll jump into more detail very soon about how the tournaments work and stuff like that. But I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, same as myself. Really excited to get going. Of course, the show match was a great success there last week, and hopefully we'll have more success today. Of course, the tournament schedule, as we see here on your screen, starting today, it is a qualification day. I believe we have over 1,000 trios entered, which is absolutely insane for the first tournament. So the way it works is day 1 will be qualification, day 2 the top 500 trios will make it through, and then day 3, which is on Saturday, will be the top 100 trios battling it out for the top prizes. I believe 6,600 is, and a load of Razer peripherals are available to get involved and win. So yeah, really excited for that. And if you don't really want to get involved with Fortnite, if that's not really your thing, you want to still win some prizes, Ryan, what do we have for the people at home?
We have some awesome giveaways for all you lovely people out there. Of course, we've got the Pringles giveaway. You can win a bundle yourself simply by doing !Pringles in chat. That'll tell you everything you need to know. Follow those steps and you could be in a chance of winning an absolutely 25 tubes of Pringles, I think, or a 25 pack in the matter of the first game. And of course, if you want to win some awesome Razer peripherals, then of course at the end of every day you can get yourself possibly a chance of winning a Razer mouse, a lovely mouse at that. And simply all you do is watch by 1 hour by hour. You get a ticket. Every ticket puts you into a prize, and then the person that gets the winning ticket will be DM'd, and you will receive an awesome mouse. But I mean, we've got lots of giveaways coming ahead of us. This is the first day, may I remind you, and we've got 6 tournaments, 3 days each tournament. There's 18 opportunities to win yourself some Pringles and 18 opportunities to get yourself a Razer Viper. So I'm really excited, and hopefully you guys are as well. So drop those !Pringles in the chat, drop the !tickets and !redeem, and you guys will be on your way.
And yeah, if also we're going to see a lot of good Fortnite players today, but if you guys have any Fortnite plays of your own, make sure to tweet them at us using hashtag #YourChance and hashtag #ThisIsEsports, and you will be in with a chance of winning 1 of 10 Razer Viper mice. Anyway, Ryan, before we just get underway, really excited for today. What is like the most exciting thing for you coming up today?
Honestly, I think specifically in game, I don't know what it is, but at the end where the storm's closing in for that final time, it gets me really pumped. We saw last week in the show match, we had times in which we didn't even make that. Teams were obliterating each other. It was an all-out brawl, and I expect to see the same again today. But I feel like the competition's going to be up there. Of course, as you mentioned, €6,600 prize for the winners of this winning trio, rather, of this tournament. That's €2,200 per person, and of course you've got the MVP awards equaling, I think, €570, and there's a couple other things for different teams out there as well, totaling, I think, around €600, which is unbelievable considering. So for amateur players that really want to win, they're definitely going to be grinding for that late game, because I think we can throw up on screen now the point system in how all of the points work and exactly what goes on, and you can probably guess by that exactly what's going on. And there you go, rank number 170 points, and getting kills as well, plus 5 points. So it really is about grinding for that late game, because you're looking at a scenario in which 7 kills or so, even more than that, sorry, you're looking at around just over 10 kills for a win. Effectively, that's the trade you're looking at. In fact, 14 kills is the same as winning a game. So people are definitely really grinding for that late game, and I think that says a lot, and so I can't wait for it.
Really excited, as you said, 14 kills win, so we might see some really aggressive plays brought out here from teams. Of course, the lobbies will be a lot more full if you're watching the show match. We didn't have that many people in the lobby, so this one might be a little bit more hectic, so I'm really looking forward to it. A lot more people fighting off spawn, a lot more people trying to get ahead of the competition early, and yeah, I think it so we are probably going to get underway sometime shortly, just waiting to hear from production that will happen. But you know, giveaways. The giveaways are absolutely fantastic. Make sure that you are very much involved in them. Exclamation mark Pringles, exclamation mark ticket as well. Make sure to keep typing them. Make sure to, you know, be involved as much as you can, because you don't want to miss out on a chance of winning these. And hopefully we some Fortnite to show you. All right, we're just going to jump over straight to an ad break, and we'll be back with game 1 shortly.
I'm looking for change. You ain't letting me play. You ain't bringing me down now. I'm a talk of the big time.
Welcome back, everyone. Apologies for the slight delays and the problems that we had, but it's better late than ever. We're back with the first game of the evening. Of course, myself and Zerf will be taking you through this one. I'm excited to get this one finally underway, and oh, wow, absolutely beamed immediately, but we're already 10 seconds in and we've seen so much carnage already up in Hunter's Haven. And may I remind you, this is the first game of 5. There's going to be a lot more action, a lot more coming very, very shortly. Nonetheless, though, it'll be time to learn about what's going to happen on each game. As you can see, a full lobby, 33 trios, and every game counts.
Yeah, as you said, full lobby, every game counts, but I wonder how full this lobby will be. Like, how long it will take to a lot of trios getting eliminated. As we've seen already, people getting knocked. There's 3 people already eliminated. Of course, they can pick up their reboot cards and get them back in, so it should be pretty interesting. A few more knocks coming in as we're just spectating here. Tomahawk and his trio over in Catty Corner. There is another team close by that you need to be a little bit wary of, a little bit careful. One of his teammates a little bit low. As we see, he's actually going to get tagged up here for 20. He's down to 20 shield, should I say. Getting pushed. He might need his team to come in and try and help him. But he's going to actually re-aggress for the moment. Just try and get the high ground and maybe start spraying down below for on top of FaZe, Oldman, and Xmas Arty. Now, spamming into the box. They are trapped for the moment and they could be in a little bit of trouble.
Everyone's swarming them right now. This is going to be a huge fight for them to get. Big pot picked up by Thomcoat, and now he'll be able to drink that and get himself a little bit higher than that 20 shield. His teammate, roughly the same right now, might be able to heal up himself, and he does so. So this could be a fight that they're willing to take, and engagement will be made. Spotted out, shots ringing on through. The AR finding 2, and it might just be that it finishes the job. They're in the box together. He's going to try and take the wall. In fact, Spam continues on through, will continue to aggress. And it's looking like an absolute mop-up. Every player taken down. And that is 3 kills in the pocket. And regarding that, Naspeps at 2 kills. Thumbcoat at 1. Starlight, he was there for the emotional support. Didn't get anything, but at the end of the day, a team gained 3 kills in the pocket. And another team eliminated, helping them out, getting to that top spot now. 83 players remaining, 29 teams. So we're seeing some huge amounts of action, and that was only one gunfight of many across the map right now.
Yeah, one gunfight of many, and Tomahawk and his team come out on top. 3 kills already, you know, 15 points in the bag, trying to maybe secure a bit of placement. Of course, landing a little bit far away from the center of the map, you know, going towards Catty Corner. Not as populated as maybe Salty Towers or places like that, POIs on the map. So, you know, maybe just playing the smart game here, going for a scavenger route, trying to maybe get a few mats together, get some nice guns, and then make it to the end game, get some placement down where, as we all know, placement is really where you are going to get your points. You know, kills are all good, but placement is really what we're after. And I'm really, really excited to see what we're going to actually, you know, have in store for us for these end game fights. See what kind of quality for Fortnite we are going to be shown here today.
Of course, and now still in the same team perspective as you mentioned, not exactly in a point of interest, that hugely populated area, instead going for the less dense in players and more focusing on the materials. So definitely playing for the late game, and I think we're going to expect that a lot, as teams will definitely be looking at the placement points and realizing exactly how important they are, because as we mentioned in the pre-game, 14 kills, as I remember, is the same place as first place. So, you know, to get 0 kills and to come first place is the same as getting 14 kills and coming dead last. So, you know, if you're having an 8-kill game and you manage to get a victory royale under your hands, you're looking at a very strong start, and I think that's what teams are going to look into. That heavy setup of points over everything is going to be definitely something that the teams look into. But 26 teams remain. We're looking right now at Craggy Cliffs. By the looks of things, there's going to be a little bit of engagement up in the northern parts of the map, as we can see. Yeah, a moment of silence, but definitely teams recognizing that they've got opposition in the same area and don't particularly want to aggress and put them on the line and put their lives on the line when they can simply just wait it out, try and play for zone, even though Both sides aren't exactly in the most prime of areas for that, as you can see on screen right now. It is looking quite densely populated across the map by the looks of things. Only a couple of teams really going to be contested. I'm looking rather towards that top left side of the map, and basically the top half is where I'd say the most action's going to be at right now, because the bottom half, it seems to be only groups of 3 colours each at each part of the map. So I think that this is going to be a definite moment of silence as I say that. He's been beamed, absolutely destroyed. Louis Suits down to 51, shield gone, and half his health as well. He'll be desperately running for his life. The missed shots are going to cost him, because he's able to get away, get the minis pops, and use those bandages to at least get back in on some health. But that was a narrow miss, and nearly they're well turned upside down there.
Yeah, nearly taken out, and that's not what you want to do early on. You do not want to be losing, you know, a player early on before you get out really of your landing spot. As we see, Cars just trying to vacate here the area. Spam's coming in, doing a little bit of damage. They might be a little bit lucky and actually just get away from this fight, because they do not want to take it early on. But we are in a high speed pursuit right now, as Trucks actually crashes his car, flips it over, gets back on the road though shortly. And it's pretty interesting, Ryan, because, you know, when we were casting the show match, we didn't have this kind of action early on. We had like big lulls in the game, you know, people landing, not really being heavily contested at all. So straight away we noticed this change that, you know, people aren't really afraid to get up close and personal early on. They really want to get as many points on the board as they can. And as we have a look at the map here, players scattered all over the place, of course, moving in the first circle. So need to, you know, try and dodge that as we go to see Mark and Silo here, a player going down already. Marker is going to be dropped. Spidey is actually going to be tagged, and he's going to be taken down. Might be full kill here as Devo tries to get away. Needs to maybe confirm that kill to get a bit more health as Mark and Silo begins to build up and build away. Just gonna own up here and pop a big pot. Wants to get onto full HP before he takes any more engagements. Players down below as we see the box fighting continue. Shots ringing out here as he gets into the box, gets into his face, and actually gets the knock onto Keizu. Devo here in his box. He's been tagged up 72, 24 white, and he will be taken down. The spam will come through, and another kill on the board there. 2 kills for Mari Consillo, and 3 kills all in all for his team.
Yeah, I mean, what a brawl that was. And I mean, I'm looking at that hotbar right now. 6 minis and 3 large pots. That is unbelievable amounts of healing. You know, not much in terms of your actual health healing, you know, those bandages or anything of that regard. I'm looking more at the fact that, you know, if he gets beamed for, you know, 100 shield, then he can easily just dip away and use some of his vast resource to get back up. And I think that's going to be definitely a huge part. Wow, Mbappe West, I see that, or Mappy West, excuse me, has just taken down 3 people. A team eliminated, 15 points in the bag for him, and that's a huge engagement to take nonetheless. Shots ringing on through in every angle, as you can see on the map, as the first circle closes. Everyone forced that little bit closer together. Everyone's going to get a little more comfortable with neighbours knocking on their walls. As you can see, it's an absolute brawl, and Shield being knocked away. Skinnock's going to try and play for the aggression, but of course, box fighting prevails, and he'll be forced to try and get into something. Lovely bit of editing to try and work his way on through. Got the weaponry as well to try and blast through the wooden floor, but all in all, it's good movement. It's great movement, in fact. And he's able to get out with no problems at all. Unscathed by the looks of things. 23 teams remaining. Still over a third of the lobby remaining. And, things are definitely not really slowed down. The pace is still there. The kills are still there as well. And we're looking at a much more interesting and different game as what we saw, as you mentioned, on the show match just last weekend.
And yeah, as you see, there's still box fighting going on. As actually another knock comes out here. I believe Isuk will be taken down. Still alive here for the moment, but the kill might be confirmed, and indeed it is. as now Skinnox getting really aggressive, gonna box up and actually gonna take him down, finds another kill, just racking up the points, which is exactly what you want, taking little damage in the process here. As now we get onto Geedy, and Skinnox again getting aggressive, loves these aggressive plays, but this time Geedy is in his box, spamming away to him, trying to heal, but his teammate comes in to help him, and another kill for Truckers and Skinnox. Absolutely fantastic box fighting there, good team play as well, and they actually get out of there alive. Of course, the zone is coming in now, so they will now need to get a move on second circle, beginning to close in, but I see that they're the yellow team up in the top left corner, and they have a lot of teams in their way that they will have to try and navigate through, so it could be a little bit more difficult of a rotate than they would have wanted, but we will see what will happen.
Yeah, and I was looking at the map just a second ago and realised the concentration of teams towards the west side of the map rather than the east. You know, it was a very vast area, not many teams built up over there. And on the flip side, you're looking at a very, very dense area for players. You know, a lot of people are going to be fighting, and I'm guessing that this could be a huge time for teams. They need to get these early rotates in, because if they don't, then they might just be caught off by those that are already there waiting for the zone to close in. Because of course, when you've got the zone closing on you, you've not got one enemy, you've got loads, because the zone's behind you, you've got teams in front of you. You've got to be cautious of everywhere and make sure you're on point at every moment of the game. Nonetheless, you're seeing on screen right now what could be a huge engagement. 3 different teams in the area by the looks of things, and that could cause some trouble by the looks of things. They won't have any problems, and they won't be fighting each other. Nonetheless, into the desert they go. They will have to try and fight for themselves. They got a team just to the left, or rather the right of them, and they just have to make sure that they're in a prime area, not get caught off by the rotates in the overflanks. Nonetheless, we're in a gunfight right now. Just on the outskirts, Marker beamed, destroyed, down to 69 points of health. He's going to pop the 2 minis, the large pock on his personnel as well. He'll have no problems getting back up. He'll be at 169 overall, and I think something to highlight as well is the fact that, you know, in that show match that we'd watched, that materials were huge. Everyone was max to max the whole time, and this, we're looking at sides that, you know, they have a decent amount of max, but they've got to be wary, because there's a lot more fighting, a lot more PvP, and a lot more action in which they need to try and fend themselves away from. Back in business, and a third of the lobby gone, and I think something to note as well, I was talking about how important that late game's going to be. A third of the game gone, and we're just approaching third circle. It's definitely slowing down, as we can see. Box fighting ringing on through. Huge amounts of damage being done. Marcancillo going to get aggressive upon. Duck on top, going to try and fend for himself as well. By the looks of things, both sides are going to disengage. Marcancillo looking for a quick re-engage, just going to build himself in, and he'll back up. So overall, just the damage, the poke coming on through for both sides. No real maximum damage, as I say that. Marcancillo absolutely blasted by Duck on top, and they're going to make light work of that. 21 teams remain.
Yeah, 21 teams remain. 60 players left in the lobby. And interesting to note, of course, with the show match, we didn't have arena mode. So now in this game mode, when players do get a kill, they will be rewarded with 50 health points, which actually will help players that like to get really aggressive. And now also the mats being capped at 500 on each, less than, of course, the 1,000 in the regular game modes. As we see here, a bit of spam coming through, boxed up already in the circle. Nas Peps, I believe, still just waiting with his teammate. Doesn't want to take too many engagements, just happy enough to, you know, sit and wait and hope that the spam doesn't come into his boxes. 21 teams remain, and the circle is slowly but surely getting smaller by the second. You know, it is going to be coming in. Third storm now going to begin to push in, I believe. And teams could be in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, I think something to highlight as well. We were talking in the pre-game exactly how important this box fighting is going to be. That, you know, the fact that people are going to post up and try and play, and you're looking at an absolute stalemate. Basically, no shots fired. They're just looking to rotate, and Nas Pep's position right now could be lethal. He's got the backs turned of one, but he's got to be cautious of the people up ahead, and by the looks of things, he doesn't want anything to do that. He's just going to edit himself back in and power. Because, I mean, what's the point of peeking in this scenario? You've got you know, time to play with. You've got the mats, you've got the weaponry, you've got all the utility for the rotations as well. So this is a scenario in which, you know, teams can afford to post up and play that passive game, play for the placements, and not really playing for the kills, instead letting the zone do the work, pressuring people away, and just keeping note of exactly what's going on. Nonetheless, 25 seconds until the third zone forms, and that's where it's going to start speeding up. The smaller zones are going to come on through. We're pushing more and more teams together, and I think this game's about to get a lot more hectic.
Yeah, it's going to heat up fairly soon. 12 seconds and the zone will reach its destination. For the moment, it will stop. And then we might see, you know, where the circle comes. It will force teams to begin to rotate. But the play really is, and it's the question that competitive Fortnite really poses a lot, is when do you really rotate? Because you don't want to be the first one to go, because people that are boxed up, that don't need to move, will just spam you. They will just try and hit you with as many AR shots as possible, which will actually entice more people to have a look out of their boxes and see you rotating. So you could be caught in an awful lot of trouble. So it's really the age-old question, you know, do we go now? Do we wait? When is going to be the safest time to rotate? A lot of people will wait until the engagement is happening. So players are distracted, so they won't get spammed. So as we see now, you know, this team here of Zakrau and Rubenest, they're just sitting, and now they just decided, you know, there's a little bit of fighting going on. Maybe it's our time to move. They have quite a lot of distance to go to get into the next circle. As now we just have a look, a bit of spam coming in here. This red team of Narcs and Lazox are just spamming into this box. Iggy and his team are in a little bit of trouble for the moment. The spam coming on through, nothing going to be able to connect just yet. Just going to try and waste as many mats on the opposition as possible, so that when they try and tunnel in as 30 white, and actually he's going to get a knock there. That's absolutely huge, because now they have to try and hold the wall and get the res off before the zone comes in, and it's going to start moving now, so they will need to get a move on. Being held in position, the spam coming through on the box. They won't be able to confirm that kill, and I believe they have gotten up, as now we see this end zone getting really hectic. Everyone being clustered together, and some exciting box fights coming up now shortly, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely, and I mean, you can see on screen right now, the drone footage shows a lot. Look at the amount of players in this area. You're looking at a 10 by 10 grid of builds, and at the same time, you've probably got 15 to 20 players just chilling, and, you know, shots ringing on through, and this is perfect because you're exchanging ammo for materials, you're giving teams less and less material to rotate, and I think ammo is definitely something that teams will have more of rather than materials. You drain the materials, they have no option to rotate, and that's exactly what you're seeing there. Abstract going to take huge amounts of damage. Truck Power, one of his teammates, actually going down just because of Naku, and he's actually providing a lot of support right now for his teammates. They're engaging well, they're destroying builds, and they're forcing players to back away, forcing them out of the zone, because the ultimate goal, every bit of damage counts. You know, damage to the amount of materials that people have, damage in terms of health and shield, anything helps, because you're draining material and utility that is needed for that late game. Nonetheless, zone closing in now, and this is where things are going to get interesting. By the looks of things, and sometime soon, we are going to crown our first victor of the first game of the Razer Invitational Europe. Of course, 3 days of action, 6 tournaments worth of 3 days, so 18 days of pure action, box fighting and all. Nonetheless, Frazen going to find Hive between, and with that, the zone makes its mark. It's going to be on the other side for the Vrag squad, as they're forced to basically cover the whole distance of the current circle just to get into the new one. And you look at the amount of people already in that new zone, 44 players remaining, and it's 5 zones looking to make 6, as the purple swarm will start to engulf you.
Yeah, as you see, look like kill feed up the top left. A lot of damage being done. A lot of players being knocked here, as we see Vrag and his team now gonna rift and try and rotate in. Gonna maybe try and go for high ground, but deciding to back away. Don't really want that engagement. Might go for something along the lines of mid ground, but actually are gonna now box up and try and just stay alive for the moment. Of course, placement is key. That is exactly what you want. You want to gain as much points as possible from placement, and you don't want to be caught on the rotate, and you definitely don't want to be going down now, as X-Rod takes a good bit of damage there. Decides to box up with his mate. As we see, NW or Starlight is going to be knocked down by Truck Power, after he got up a few moments ago, and Miles is going to confirm that kill. Another kill, should I say, for their trio. We go now to Wave. Janice, who is up on high ground with Duck on top as well, who is on top of the lobby, waiting to spam down onto the builds below. Fireox here just waiting, still 15 seconds left before the storm begins to move. 6 storm coming in, and we have a lot of action coming up on the rotate, and I wonder if this high ground will be challenged at all, as we see Janice spamming down, tagging up an awful lot, taking a lot of shield away from the players below. But will this high ground be challenged at all? Will there be anyone going, as we actually hear a rift hold there for the moment? Surge or Storm Surge is coming in now, so you need to get above that damage threshold, or a lot of damage will be coming out on top, as we see a rift coming in here, trying to think about where they're going to land. They're going to stay in the sky for as long as possible. So many kills on this team, I just realized. 15 kills between them so far, landing on a box, tagging them down for 88 shield. Actually gonna get the knock and gonna take him down. Another kill for Wave, Janice, and Andelix and Duck on top. Very nicely done as well, as we see Twixie deciding not to challenge. He thought about it there for a second, will I challenge the high ground, but then deciding against it, and probably the smart play, because these lads are on a heater right now.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at the amount of players in this area, the storm closing in and in and in. Janice, 5 kills already, his team absolutely dominating, more and more coming out from them. They were at 15 moments ago, and you're already looking at a squad topping that with no problems at all. Storm Surge now active as the zone will be defined. Lovely rift up top, going to use this, and deploying the glider early will give you enough time to pull that rotate across and allow themselves to get into a nice position in the new zone. But they've got to be cautious, because Janice has taken high ground. We know how lethal this guy is, and he's trying to snipe everyone down. Movement is required when you're up in the air, and it might just be that Janice can catch you out here. Lots being made right now. There's lots of noise, which can only mean lots of action. More knocks coming on through. Thomcoat, a man from earlier, finding one. First time that I've seen Speedwood on the board as well. Going to take down Thomcoat. And look at the beam from Janice. He will not stop holding left click as he's able to find a quick kill. Shield is going to go, but he's going to impulse on up. Going to try and take the high ground, and he'll join his team once again. Brave is my son. Going to find another kill as well, and you're looking at the kill feed sporadically flooding. More and more people there. Janice going to be caught in the zone, actually opting to take some damage instead of just running on through and then popping it later on. And there you go, spam on through. X-Rod going to try and tagged up as well. In the meantime, Drop Power to find Pyrooks. And with that, it's looking like Dan just picked up one as well. Pyrooks with another. And this team is popping off. You're seeing right now, Janice going to drop on down. Zed-Crow going to get absolutely dunked on. He's got to be cautious. He's able to get away in the meantime. And by the looks of things, 9 teams remaining. We're in our top 10. And they will not stop, not coming on through once again. That'll be on the half of the MCES and Wave squad that have delivered nicely. 8 teams, and it's sporadically decreasing. And mats are becoming quite thin, at least for most squads. But, I mean, you're looking at Janice right now, who I think is a top contender. The amount of kills that these guys have gotten, the amount of materials that they have, is just unproblematic for them. And they're going to be able to take the high ground, move with the zone. And you're looking at them right now. The dominating trio, height advantage, utility advantage. Basically, every advantage given as we enter the top 5 teams. Now top 3 is to quickly drop. And there's only 6 players remaining, half of the lobby on this trio. And I think, I don't want to be the one to count this out just yet, but it's looking like it's all said and done right here.
Yeah, as you said, you know, Wave, Janice. Actually, now height is being contested for the first time in this game, really. Janice and his trio were up there for, it seemed like almost an eternity, and they're still up there. They still are right above this team. Only 2 teams remaining. A 3 versus 2, as we see the rift coming in. They're actually getting tagged up from above. So much damage being done, and they're have to going to contest. They're have to going to take a fight here. A shockwave going to come in here as Janice gets up high. Actually tags down Nizu, I believe, and just falls off there for the moment. Gonna try and stay in the storm. He only has 40 health, so needs to not go out of the storm if he can. His mate is actually going to get knocked 10 HP. Can't afford to step out of the zone any further, but he's going to spam him. He's going to come him down. He drops to the floor, hits the ground too hard. And as we have a look there, 25 kills and a victory royale. That is absolutely fantastic. I believe 195 points coming out there. What a huge first game coming out there from Janice and his trio.
Unbelievable. This squad just made their mark. And I'm so happy we caught that on stream. Delivered in every sense, as you said. So many points to their name already. Just below 200. And that makes a bold statement heading into game 2. Of course, you know, that was the first one of 5. And to get just under 200, we could be looking at a whopping score here. Nonetheless, you know, as I mentioned, 4 more games. Still chance for teams to try and get ahead, per se. And to try and deliver a couple more points to their name and make it through to the second day. Nonetheless, a great performance. And obviously, you know, with that team all said and done, I feel like that is a huge statement from them. Was there anyone else that particularly caught your eye in that game, Jack? Or were you sort of just watching from their perspective and realizing how strong this team was?
I mean, like, was there anyone else really that you can think of? Like, they had high ground for the whole game. Nobody really contested them. And if you did contest them, you were dead. There was not a chance for any other team to get a foothold in that game. As high ground, it's so important. Literally getting up above and just taking down, putting pressure on teams. And it paid off. Like, you know, I definitely think that this team will be a force to be reckoned with. I definitely think that we will be seeing them on Friday and indeed maybe even Saturday, because they are a force to be reckoned with. If they can get high ground like that every game and keep control of it like they did, it's going to be near impossible for other teams, you know, to win games.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking right now, Intel Moments, the replays brought to you by Intel, of course, and you're just seeing the dominance that has been absolutely shown across the maps, I would argue. I don't think there's a better way of putting it, because this team, unreal amounts of talent. You're looking at their early stages. That was still with 21 teams remaining, and they did not stop there. Their names came out of nowhere, admittedly. You know, we don't know particularly too many people that have entered these things, and I for one, at least, don't know many of the people here, and for them to go and do that is a huge statement to make, and I cannot wait to see more from them, hopefully, throughout the day. And as you mentioned, I definitely think that we'll be seeing them in day 2, just off of their first performance. I think they might have just secured themselves a huge place at that. You know, even if they weren't to play the last 2 games and get the games the same in game 2 and 3 as they did in 1, I mean, yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that they'll make it to day 2. And as for their dominating factor towards the late game, as you mentioned, high ground was unreal. No one contested them to that, and if you did, there was no way you were making it out alive. This team, such a large precedent heading into this one. You're seeing Janice right now realizing that the benefactor, he realizes that teams could be taking that high ground, going to try and impulse on up, and then from there on out, it was simply just try and claim lives as you can. It was the top 2 teams. They knew that they had to survive, and at the end of it all, he tried to build on down, get away, survive in the zone. But of course, they overpowered in every factor. Lovely shot, and just like that, they won the first game.
Yeah, just knocking them out of the sky, letting the ground do a little bit of the work. But like Duck on top there with 12 kills, and Janice and Andalix, I believe, 7 and 6 between each there. Like, they are huge. Even if they just play for placement for the rest of the games, I think definitely see them on day 2. And got some news for you guys. Adam Ski FN is the first the Pringles winner for today. Congratulations, and make sure to have your whispers open. One of production will contact you. You've won yourself a 25 pack of Pringles, I believe. So congratulations to you, and enjoy them. I'm still speechless. I'm still absolutely speechless after what we've seen in that first game, and I hope we have more of that to come, because that was absolutely fantastic to watch, and hopefully it will be coming up soon. All right, guys, we're going to pass it straight to a commercial, and we'll be back with game 2 shortly.
Welcome back, everyone. What a statement to be made in the first game. And of course, that's the first of 5 nonetheless. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Ryan Retroburn. I'm joined today by Jack, Zerfa, Kelly. I'll be jumping into game 2 very, very shortly. Nonetheless, if you've just joined, then boy, have we got some stuff for you. A Pringles giveaway was just drawn, but you can get your hands on an awesome Razer Viper mouse. Do exclamation mark points in chat, and it will lead you on your way. Nonetheless, game 2 is now underway. We're in game, we're live, and we're looking at a very crammed bus. 99 players, 33 trios, and things are about to get interesting. I'm looking right now at the map, and I'm not sure about yourself, Zerfa, but I'm looking right now at a map in which, you know, a lot of people were heading to possibly the same area. You know, we've got 2 teams in Stealthy Stronghold, 3 teams in Craggy Cliffs. We might be looking at 2 teams in Steamy Stacks. There's a lot of people grouped together in the early stages, and boy, are we going to experience some early PvP.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there. We are going to see a lot of teams running into each other early on. And I mean, it's always the way in Fortnite. You don't really know where people are going to land. If people are going to be landing at the POIs, or maybe if they're just going to go for, you know, these kind of scavenger routes. But as we see here, 3 teams in Craggy Cliffs already. They'll be trying to get as much loot and as much materials as possible before they take any engagement. I believe TT Zetic, he's already taken a little bit of damage, and so has Norbfano. So, you know, want to get some shield, want to, you know, heal up a little bit before they get pushed. But it looks like they will be safe for the moment, trying to just recover, you know, as many weapons as they can. As we see, Nox already coming in, and kills as well. So not the ideal situations for those trios, you know, losing your players so early on, but we will see what will happen coming up next.
Of course, and I think something to highlight as well is that, you know, each kill 5 points. Some early kills can definitely propel you and give you that momentum heading into the later stages. Nonetheless, Norbfano gonna pop a med kit, no problems for him at all. He is gonna get shot from behind, so he'll continue running on forward. He's got 1 bullet in the sniper rifle. Will he pull the trigger now? By the looks of things, he's going to try and just build the way. Try and disengage as much as he can. His teammate just losing out on a bit of shield there. And with that, it's a very stalemate fight towards the top of the map. In the meantime, however, it is quite silent. Nothing really too much happening in the early stages of the game. You know, we're looking at teams that just want to simply play passive, play smart, and just try and get themselves, you know, as many points as they can without risking teammates, I guess. And I think that's a huge statement to be made, you know, trying to get those early points on the board and not allowing your enemies to try and outscale you, because of course the top 500 duos, and only the top 500 duos, will make it to the later stages, the second day. And I think that that's important as well, to at least rack up as many points as you can, because that's definitely an important benefactor. Wow, that was disgusting. The double sniper, he stood in the same position for too long, and with that, they absolutely destroyed him. He's knocked, and he'll probably get finished as well. What a lovely play, and he must be kicking himself, because that was disgusting.
What shots they were, and you know, his teammate trying to pick him up, get him on his shoulders, trying to get him out of there, and it ended up costing him his life. He will be able to recover his reboot card, so you know, if they can get to a reboot fan, they might be able to bring him back. But you know, that other team picking up quite an easy 5 points. You know, if you are gonna peak like that, you are gonna get punished, especially with the caliber of players that we have here, as we actually see Crystal spamming into a box early on, gonna drop down and maybe try and take a wall if he can. Now he's actually getting edited on, will take a little bit of damage as Riviera will go down and he will be taken out. Now we see reloads coming in, the kill coming in there from Crystal. He's already got 2, and improved 4-8 with 2 as well. The purple scar available to him. Actually 6 kills. They've killed 2 duos already in this game towards Sweaty Stands. They will come out on top. And you know, 6 kills, 30 points. You have to be happy with that start anyway. Now Alfishy trying to get away, just trying to run. He's actually being chased very, very heavily. He needs his teammates to come and try and help him, or else he could be taken out of this game too very early on. And it's not what you want. A nice shot there, and he will actually tag him down, do him very, very low. Still alive for the moment, but he will get taken down. Jumped into a box. The shakedown going to come in, so they will be able to find where the rest of his teammates are. He will begin to heal up now and take him down. So just keeping him alive for as long as possible. And this is almost cruel. He's still alive. They're remoting on him. Put him out of his misery. Very, very harsh indeed. But he will put him down. And they actually take a lot of damage there. I believe they shot the gas cans and took a lot of damage. That could have been a big oopsie from them, but it looks like they got away with it.
Of course, and now we're looking at a different part of the map. We're looking at absolute unreal scenes. FaZe Mongrel up there, up close and personal. He does get knocked by Mine Rush, and he's swiftly removed of. A lovely round from them out in the early stages, and Mine Rush setting definitely a statement there as he finds himself another as well. That's huge. His second within the game. He'll swiftly be able to get up to 85. He's got a big pot on his hands. He's got a couple of minis that he can pick up as well. And overall, decent. Just found a legendary scar as well. That's a huge find. In the meantime, Chemist looking for something. Does get absolutely domed. Down to 55 points of health. Forced to heal up. And will return to fighting once again. Trying to take the high ground. Dink comes out. 25 damage done. But it's not going to quite be the conversion. Instagram EMGFN is the man to pick things up. Them Groom will be the man to fall. And with that, 69 players remaining in the lobby. Still prime opportunity for teams to try and get placement points. I think I just heard a rift be popped. So that is of key interest. And there you go. You know, he just looked up into the sky and saw it was indeed popped. And now this is where things get interesting. I'll try and spam them on out as the first zone closes on in. The map right now, teams seem to be fairly spread out. I don't see anyone too close together, too much of an engagement. Maybe at Slurpy Swamp we'll see a huge engagement, but other than that, everyone seems to be pretty chilled heading into the first circle here.
Yeah, heading into the first circle, as we can hear, there's a reboot going on, so one player will be brought back in. Some more points available, as now we switch over to Cola and Avine. Now, they might get into a bit of an engagement here. There are players close, I believe, just underneath them, trying to look out and maybe spot them. Don't want to take any early damage, because, you know, definitely don't want to get jumped on in this situation. As we see Avian now just kind of maybe try and get up on this hill building, just trying to block, get the high ground, you know, get a bit more of an advantageous position above this yellow team. But it looks like the yellow team, they're not going to really chase. They're not really too invested. They're happy enough to just get in there and loot. Don't really want to, you know, go down early on. Want to try and play for placement, which I mean is the smart play, but you know, placement will only get you so far. You will need to pick up a few kills, as we actually see Salt Santa going down there, I believe. Bam coming in here with this Scar. Tremendous, taking a little bit of damage. Santier now grouping back up with his teammate. 2 kills for them already. And we'll just begin to get into the storm and might actually hold these players in position, which is exactly not what you want. Especially, you know, trying to get up a hill. Such an advantageous position for Santier. Actually just going to build now, and he might be caught out in the storm. It might be getting a bit too aggressive. Going to try and hold him if he can. Run around and see any spot anyone out.
Huge.
Flash is coming in here. Oh, tagging up a little bit, but needs to, you know, get out of the storm. Doesn't want to take too much damage, Ryan, because they could be in a lot of trouble then.
Absolutely, and we're flipping around to somewhere that's in the zone as there's box fighting going on left, right, and center. QG able to take one down, needs to convert though for the points to come in effect, and he will do so. The finish is desperately needed for the points, of course, because downing someone doesn't do anything. It's the actual finish that counts. In the meantime,
towards Dirty Docks as well. Towards Dirty Docks, you know, they want to get back into the zone, but more of these people down the south side of the map, they need to get a move on, because this second storm moves fast and it begins to hurt. So, you know, you want to get out of there as possible. As we see, actually, one player is going to be knocked down there by Lazy Lake. But, you know, they still, once they get into the sand, of course, new into Season 5, you will be able to tunnel in the sand. It is re-enabled. It was disabled the last time we were casting. But, you know, it's going to help the people that want to get fast rotates. Of course, the crystals will come into play there as well, as we actually say, taking a good bit of damage there. Needs to pop a mini. Plenty of shields available to him. Does have that blue charged shotgun and that blue AR. And do an awful lot of damage. His team already on 3 kills, but they're now going to be called into action once again, as they are going to begin to be pushed, tagging one player up for 33 shield. Ray's coming into his box. He needs to maybe try and get back and try and, you know, get back to his team where they can help him. But I believe they're going to get ran down here. The spam coming through from the P90. Won't be able to find anything. You hear that charged shotgun charging up as well. Just trying to block these shots and try and maybe get out of the way. The box fighting coming into effect here. The spam coming on through. Not a lot of damage being done, but now he's going to get pushed. The Popo is going to get taken down. That is not ideal at all. Psych now just surviving for the minute. Him and his team just gonna hold as they begin to get pushed. He needs to try and heal up. Now it needs to maybe try and get out of the box and maybe take a fight. And discharge shotgun, you know, it can really pack a punch and really, you know, hurt your teammates. It's really interesting to see, you know, what players like to use it. Some players like it, some players don't. They prefer to use the tack, as we see Vitality Hawkers with the tack available to him as he begins to hold his build, being spammed out on true. Might try and impulse up for high here, and indeed he does. Gets up on top of the high ground, starts shooting away, try and find the players that are below, doing as much damage as possible. But now the storm is beginning to come in, and these teams don't want to be caught out here, as now, oh, nice shots ringing on through here. Vitality Hawkers down to 70 HP, being spammed on through. Needs to try and take these splashes if he can. Actually gonna scope up, actually hits that shot. Oh my, was not a headshot though, will not take him down. Trying to get on below to help out his teammates if he can. Actually, NXW will go down, so maybe if they get down and confirm that kill, gonna heal up his mate as well. A good team player coming out there from Hawkers, and they will confirm that kill. But they are gonna be continuously pressured there by Pike. Now, healing up will come in. They are being held, and Siak actually had a lot of health at the beginning of this. A lot of, you know, minis and big pots, as a bounce is going to come in. A super bounce, in fact, tries to track them in the air and actually takes down Hawkers. Oh my, fantastic shots there. And Etsy is going to be knocked in the storm too. Lots of loot falling out of the sky, and a good engagement there from Psych.
Yeah, now you're looking right now at that zone moving on in ever so slowly, but it is moving in. And now to that third zone formation. A lot of teams are going to be grouped up close together. 22 teams, still 2/3 of the lobby remain. I think something to note as well is the fact that with 22 teams remaining, we're not at a stage right now where you're getting points for placements. You're still in a scenario where you've got to stay alive if you're wishing to get back into placements and find your way to victory. With that, Grout is going to find a quick kill in the river. His first of the game. Looking for a second as well, as he will continue to spam with the heavy assault rifle. Looking for more damage, unfortunately. Forced to stop shooting. Doesn't have all too much ammo in his pockets, and so with that he'll swiftly disengage. 6 seconds until the zone will move in. And 56 players remain in the server. And I expect to see a lot of PvP, because I don't believe that 56 players will fit into that small circle.
No, exactly that. A lot of players, you know, will be pressured on here as the rotates begin to come in. Now look at how congested the map is going to get, and it's only going to get more stacked as these players rotate in from around Pleasant and Craggy as well, and then the south side of the map. Look, on that bridge, it's really, really densely populated over there, and just to the north of the bridge as well, I believe 4 or 5 teams in and around that area. The blue team grabbing a drop as we now go under the bridge to find the trolls. Lean and his teammates here. Now seeing, you know, just building, just gonna box up, try and get more placement points, as now we see Spam coming in here, the brick being spammed and taken down, trying to waste some mats of these players over here, trying to get a knock if they can. Of course, very hard to res your teammate, especially if your player goes down early on. Now the Spam coming on through. Not going to be able to find that just yet. Sammy and the BTS guys just surviving for the minute. And sadly enough, we have lost 69 Gamer HD. Very, very sad indeed. How will they ever recover? As now, minute and 15 left on the clock before the storm starts moving in. But Nico and his teammates, they're in a really, really strong position.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at Zibisiek Misiek, I think that's how it's said. Maybe I've just butchered it. I have no clue. Nonetheless.
Yeah, I didn't want to pronounce it.
Yeah, I know. You dodged it. You dodged it. I'll give it my best shot. Maybe chat can correct me. But in a great position right now, Nico and Co. We'll call them for the time being. On top of the bridge right now. Just sitting above the trolls and looking to try and make their way, of course, in the middle of zone. Don't really have to go anywhere, but making their way around their box, around their hideout, I would argue, for the next minute or so, because of course, as that zone closes in, teammates are going to move around the map. You know, different teams are going to try and apply as much pressure as they can to each other. As you can see, a little bit of a tag up, 22 shield gun, nothing too major. And with that, they'll be able to fly away, no problems at all. 16 teams still remain within the server. All damage being done, in fact. That's huge. In the meantime, Demon's Dupe is going to find one. And by the looks of things, shots going to rattle on through towards the bridge as well. So a lot of teams going to try and make their move, as we see Fairy right now on the Apology squad looking to try and make his move towards his opponent's box. By the looks of things, in response, he's going to take a tack shotgun to the back of the head, and by the looks of things, he's going to be obliterated, at least his shield gone, and he's forced to back away. The cavalry has arrived, however, and they'll continue to ring in on shots and to try and provide as much help as possible, blast out the material, or rather the walls to remove the materials, and there you go. That's exactly what they do there. The Spam, just to try and fake out the use of more walls and to get rid of more materials. In the meantime, Santis up, he's going to get tagged up. He in fact goes down, and now the aggression will come on through. This is brutal, but at the end of the day, this is Fortnite. And you have to make every kill and every placement count. As you can see, Ferry picking up another headshot. Lovely amount of damage. Is going to finish the job as we switch on over. Spacebar edit. Looking for a quick kill. Fortunately, will be forced to back away. The zone going to push him away from the angle. And with that, zone will form. 39 players still in the lobby. It's a huge amount. Edit coming on through. They are going to take a bit of damage. But all in all, a successful rotate for all. We did lose a fair few teams, but ultimately, it's a very easy rotate and a no problem job for these teams as they still remain alive.
What I love to see there is there's a harpoon on one of Spacebar Edit's teammates, and he's just fishing for mats, fishing for pots out in the storm. Don't want to take any damage out there. Just going to bring them back in and use them to their advantage. And you love seeing plays like that, just smart kind of plays. You know, they don't need to take needless damage by going out in the storm. They have harpoons available to them. And, you know, it might actually help them out in the long run because, as we see here, Nico and his team, they have vacated the bridge. And they are now up on the high ground. Just gonna try and do as much damage as possible here. They are in storm already. So now I wonder, will we see them spamming people trying to cross? As we see, I'm not even gonna try and pronounce the name. Just spamming into the air. Now the car rotating in. Builds need to come in as well. Kugel going to be dropped 7. Murrow is going to fall as well. Now the storm just spamming the car, gonna try and explode it if he can. Do too much damage. Actually will set a few builds on fire though, which could be a bit of a problem for teams. We will wait and see. As we see Marks coming in there as well. trying to spam onto the box, trying to coordinate an attack on a team, trying to get a knock, trying to get a few more points on the board. And that's exactly what they are going to do. Spam coming in, getting rid of that tree, a bit of deforestation from some teams coming in as well. Nico and his team, though, still on the high ground. Spamming down below, still yet to find a kill, interestingly enough. They will be hoping to change that soon.
Of course, and now it'll be 20 seconds until the zone moves, and once again, are far from everyone, in fact, in the original storm. So they've got to make their move and make it count, because this is where teams will get caught out over rotating. And that will scream horror for some of these teams, because it will be the end. Nonetheless, still a little bit of time, as now 60 seconds until it will merge into its new place. A rift being popped as well. And with that, teams are going to start their rotate. This is a time in which, if you're the early rotators, you want to try and make as much of a change as possible. If you're the early team, you know, you're trying to cancel that on the late side. You just got to make your way over there ASAP. And you can see right now exactly what's going on. Everyone moving to the side that they need to quite quickly as well. Not too much zone damage being done, and all in all, still loads of players remain alive. And there is going to be a little bit of contest for high ground. Shah alongside Nico and his team. But by the looks of things, he'll be forced to drop on our way. And with that, Nico and his team will be able to take high ground. In fact, he got blasted out of the zone. I think he is going to go down here. And that will only scream horror. In fact, he might have just gone into new zone and just tried to use as much heals as he could, because he wants to have that prime positioning, that prime knowledge, the all-seeing area, as he will be able to do so. His teammates are there to guide him, and he'll be able to heal them all back up. Using a jump pad as well to try and make the rotate back across as we head into the 7th storm.
Yeah, using that bounce pad, getting in a more advanced position. Now we're going to continue to spray on behind them, do as much damage to these teams rotating in to the circle. People trying to build up, trying to get a more advantageous position, but they're just going to be spammed out, as we here to see Patre Stam, I believe, with this pistol, just doing a little bit of damage to build the golden pistol available. He's only 93 health, so he needs to be kind of careful, as now we go back to the team on the high ground, spamming down below, just raining hell. And we saw in the first game how, you know, important high ground is. You know, no team really challenged in the first game for high ground. I wonder, will it differ here, as spraying coming on down, coming on through, as it looks like they are going to be challenged here, and they will need to be at the top of their game. The rift going to come in as they escape. Keen a little bit lucky there as well. Keen 74, very, very low indeed, as the Beck Mazek, I believe, will now just begin to float on down. Doesn't want to land just yet, but now he is on the high ground. Now he begins to have a look. Can he do any damage to the players below? 16 players left as that kill comes in. Now make it 15, as the player on the high ground will die as well. 6 teams remaining, as the circle is in its 9th rotation. And they will begin to move on in. It will be getting smaller and smaller, as Splash now will be able to get a few kills. Crystal up on top of the high ground, gonna shoot down the mats, as he very much needs them. Now gathering a few more builds in and around 400, so looking a little bit better. 4 teams now remaining, 11 players still in the server. Crystal gonna just heal up, has the time for the moment, as a lull comes in the server. Very, very rare that you see this kind of lull in these late games. He is gonna drop on down and get maybe closer to the action to try and do as much damage, as we see another player going down here, but he's actually going to be contested here. Splash gonna get up above him and see what he can find. Crystal is actually gonna get taken down. Physics will drop him, as players come on in and come on down. They will be eliminated in 4th position. 3 teams are left, as Onyx, Hell and Onyx. Hizix will be on the high ground, just shooting down below. Another knock coming on through here as well. Spacebar Edit still alive for the moment. We'll just use all these splashes if he can, just trying to heal as much as possible. Onyx Hell trying to stay in the circle. The Spacebar Edit will need to just use these splashes where he can. He actually is able to get a knock. Gonna confirm that kill, which will grant him a little bit more health. Onyx Hell is going to be taken down. There's only 2 players remaining, and it's gonna go down to a heal. Races getting down on top of him, trying to hit him. Who's gonna hit the shot? He snipes him, but it's not enough. Exactly, Races will be taken down, and Spacebar Edit comes out on top. A 9-kill win for his team, and he just sat there in the storm. He was happy enough to heal, and a no-scope coming out there. He was nearly taken down, but he ended up on top, and they win the game because of it.
I mean, it wasn't the dominance that we saw in game 1, but it works because they managed to get themselves that victory royale, get those extra points, get them further and further up on the leaderboard, because of course the top 500 trios of day 1 move forward to day 2, so they've got to make sure that they get themselves enough points to make their way on forward. I think we had something like 1,500 teams at least sign up to this. That's 1,500 trios rather, excuse me. Never mind players. So an unreal amount of teams that have signed up to this one, and they need to make sure it works. We were watching this at the start, and this was the double sniper play we were talking about. Shot down the wall, and then Norpfano decapitated. Apologies that he's the man that's shamed in this scenario, but what a display of teamwork. In fact, it was the apologies lot that made it work, and with that, he picked him up, got sniped off the back, and it was no problems at all for them. Still only 2 teams down. Riviera making moves through into other people's boxes, get caught out immediately and shut down. Mine Rush, his key editing skill in the same boxes, FaZe Mongrel alongside his teammate 69 Gamer HD made light work of their opponents. Reboot card was there. I don't think it was used, but it was the fact that they had that opportunity if they needed to. In fact, they scoop up another as well. So a lovely display from them as we close in on the later stages. You know, a lovely shot. I think it was a car explosion, in fact. Trinix, the man to fall. And then from there on out, it was just a matter of staying alive for the late game. Yuji using very smartly there the heals before he killed the player, because of course, as you mentioned in the pre-game, that 50 health combo is very useful. So if you're at 90 health, you know, you're looking at 40 shield right there on top of full health, then this is where, you know, you already looked at so many highlights, and I think that was something I wanted to note as well, is the fact that the amount of highlights that we've seen, and we're only a third of the way through the lobby. These guys, you know, delivering on every front. The amount of action that's been caught on the cameras within the first couple of days is unreal.
Absolutely fantastic, as we see Spacebar Edit, who actually ended up winning the game on top. As I just have a look at the leaderboard as well, you know, Spacebar Edit, that's actually their 2nd game that they've won. 2 wins from 2, which is absolutely fantastic, you know, with an average elims of 10. You know, it's not too high, the average elims, but, you know, still putting a lot of pressure. I believe they are in 3rd overall after the first 2 games, as we see on the high ground here. Just spamming down below, doing lots of damage, and actually something that we really didn't see in the other game, in the first game, in fact, you know, people challenging for high ground, and actually I must have missed that kill when it was live, but got taken down off the high ground, wasn't really challenged per se, just absolutely shot out of the air. Crystal will go down here, and now we will take it over onto Onyx Hell. He was dropped. He didn't survive for much longer. Spacebar Edit still surviving, and exactly, Race is trying to get on top of him there. Hits a no-scope, 104 damage. I believe Spacebar Edit would have been about 20 HP, just about surviving, but it was not enough to take him down. And Spacebar Edit and his team will pick up the victory royale. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Some hectic action towards the end, and really, really exciting, Ryan.
Yeah, I think something to note as well is that, you know, Spacebar Edit, he was on 20 points of health, as you mentioned, had one of those tack shots hit. That could have changed the game completely. Nonetheless, we're going to throw it to a quick break, but don't go anywhere. Game 3 will be up soon. Please stick around.
All right, guys, welcome back to game 3 of the Razer Invitational. Just going to see a few people dropping out of the battle bus, and hopefully we have some more interesting action to come, as I can actually talk to you guys a little bit about the leaderboard. So just to give you guys a rough idea, the top after game 2 is 230 points. It is Shaykaz, One Last, and Rog Mason, who actually have not won a game, but they came second and third in their first 2 games with 26 elims in the first and 16 in the second. Is absolutely fantastic, as we see XO666 taking so much damage there. Mac Opek will do a lot of damage. I hope I am pronouncing that correctly. Russian is not my strongest language, as you guys can probably tell. But yeah, we've got an interesting game coming up, of course. Now we're getting into, the later kind of stage. We will probably see a lot more teams getting a bit more aggressive, trying to get kills, as we see actually Kurj 777, or 77 should I say. He's gone down straight away and he's taken out of the game. I believe a whole team eliminated there. The first team to go down in this 75 player lobby, and that is not what you want. You don't want to be eliminated so soon. As we see, unknown name and his team now beginning to move in. An easy 15 points to pick up, and they now almost have Slurpy Swamp to themselves. Just one more team that they have to get rid of, but we will probably see that coming up next. Ryan, what has impressed you the most? Have you really enjoyed the early game engagements, or is it still just the the late round, the rotations, and the box fighting?
To be honest, I didn't expect so much action in the beginning stages. As you mentioned already, a team eliminated. You're looking at a squad, or a lobby rather, as well, that's lost a fair few players. 7 players already gone, make that 9, in fact 11 people. So they're dropping like flies in the early stages, and so now this is an opportunity for sides that aren't exactly in hot areas, that highly contested land, to just basically relax, let these early engagements happen, and play for the late game, play for the placements. I do believe that, of course, that late game feeling is like no other, in my opinion, for this game. But I do believe that the early stage is definitely important as well. As you can see, Justex, who is Vima's partner, has just tagged up and converted one. In the meantime, they are going to try and continue their aggression on forward, trying to claim walls of their own, just building on through, making their way around. Lovely bit of movement, Vima, perfect movement, destroying him. Even gonna give him a quick shakedown as well. Gonna find out exactly where his teammate is, and they'll see him running away from Steamy Stacks. Claimed as theirs, they hold their ground strong. As we look at the map right now, not a lot going on. Maybe in Misty Meadows is a bit of action, as well as that Slurpy Swamp. They're back in for seconds. Other than that, though, things are silent across the rest of the map.
Yeah, as you said, silent across the rest of the map, as we see now a more northwesterly storm, and it's going to be the first time today that we've seen that. And to be honest, I really hope that we see something towards Coral Castle. I really do like that side of the map, so it'll be interesting to see, and indeed interesting to talk about, as we now jump on over to Malikov and his team, having a look to see if they can get some kills. Actually, his teammate is going to go down. Needs to be careful here. A lot of damage coming out here from Native, I believe, and he's actually being pushed here. Will be able to hit a shot, but he's down to 18 HP and needs to just try and hold, but he will get taken out, because now teammate is very low, 8 HP, doesn't really want to take any engagements if he can. See, Vodcliffe might try and get a shot on him, as Ferry will just eliminate his teammate and get up to a higher health, taking the big cock, and oh no, Synod FN is going to be taken out and his team is going to be eliminated. Only 20 teams remain.
I think he got emoted on as well at the end of that, which is the harshest thing about it. But at the end of that, they're swiftly taken back to the lobby. Unfortunately for them, no real points gained through placements in that game, and they're forced to play their hearts out. Of course, as you mentioned, lots of different teams competing across, and by the looks of things, there are so many pages of teams. I mean, you're looking at top 100 right now. A monstrous game could be upwards of 100 points, and that could move you from, all the way down to the bottom, and you could find your way into the top 100 easily. As you mentioned, at the top is the is the Shaycos guys, as far as I can see, as they actually eliminated from their game. I've just refreshed the page and they're already done with their game. They got removed. So now this is a huge opportunity for the rest of the squad, such as Splash and Onyx Hell, that we saw from earlier on, to make their way on forward. Nonetheless, though, as I mentioned, at 100th place, 103 points is all that's needed. So you can go from 0 to hero very, very quickly, simply with a monstrous game, because that alone was delivered. I'm going to go back to the example of Shaycos in game 1, where they got 134 points and Pate a lovely sniper shot. Didn't mean to interrupt my own sentence, but that is something to get hyped about. A lovely conversion for him. Sniped him out, looking for a second as well, possibly, but he's going to duck away behind the cover of his own builds. All in all, a very nice shot, and that's going to be his first kill on the board.
What a kill it was. Oh my, I was not expecting that at all. It's an insane sniper shot coming out there, and it's something that I love to see. You know, you love to see these sniper shots just crack someone in the head and take them down, especially when they are as spectacular as that. And yeah, as you were saying there, you know, the team in first position, they already got eliminated. One elim, they got 3 points, and you know, they got taken out. As now, you know, Splash and his team might be able to open up a bit of a lead, you know, try and claim some points back. I believe they're 31 points behind the team in first. So now is the time really to, you know, get placement, you know, focus on maybe not, you know, going for too much of a kill heavy game. Try and get into the last circle, you know, try and get placement and try and get as many points on the board as possible, because when other teams, especially when they are close to you, when they slip up, you have to punish them. As we see Corklix, he's going to fall out of the sky. He'll take a little bit of damage. He has survived for the moment, but he is just going to box up and back away towards his teammates, thinking about taking a flopper, but deciding against that, as we now go over to first Ori, who is beginning to get aggressive and now beginning to push. Will fall out of the sky for the minute. It does have that legendary charge shotgun available, as we see Frizz will be taken down. And now Cortex on 27 HP. He's in a lot of trouble for the moment and needs to be careful. Ori putting so much pressure on him, and shots absolutely ringing out in the box. Cortex is going to be taken down. He is going to be shaken down. Is going to be taken out of the server. Mordvik now just trying to back away. His two teammates eliminated in that exchange. 97 health. He is just going to try and back away. I don't believe he picked up any cards either. We definitely did not pick up Corklix's card. And it will just be him on his own for the rest of the game, I feel.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be an opportunity, especially when there's loads of trios left remaining. I don't think you're going to be given that opportunity to try and use that reboot card to get your teammates back into the server, especially looking at his hotbar as well. Not exactly the large amount of utility and weaponry that he can easily dish across. He only had an SMG and a shotgun, so it's not exactly the most prime of times. Nonetheless, Commando Jacob looking right now what could be a huge trio as we jump into the action now. By the looks of things, they are going to be hiding, posted up at least. Kanks going to get spammed on through, just wasting the material for the time being. Darcy, his teammate, actually falling, and he's forced to try and reposition around this crystal. Nonetheless, he is going to burrow, and that could be huge, because he might be able to find his way out, and he'll do so. Just going to run away using the desert to get out of the area, disengage completely, and without using a single bit of rotation. A perfect play from him. And that mechanism definitely going to be abused heading into these later games.
Yeah, as we see, rotating on over, as we see Phase Mongrel. And somehow, I don't think it is the real Phase Mongrel.
Yeah, it's the L is the, yeah.
The L, yeah, he's teaming up with Intel Boy, just emoting here, as we love to see. You know, a little bit of toxicity coming in there. Obviously, people still spectating him, wants to let them know that they lost their engagement to him. As now we see, actually only 3 teams are in this second circle, and a lot of teams are going to have to begin to rotate in. A few people close now on the bridge here, coming up to Pleasant Park as we jump on into Fokbriz and Dreadlocks. And his team, Onyx Hell, who are actually up in second. They are actually in this game. Gonna try and take down the Shark if they can. Get a little bit of loot. In the meantime, Splash needs to be careful. Going to take a little bit of damage, but they will take him down. And a legendary P90, I believe that was, that they picked up. And now 33 seconds left on the clock before the storm begins to come in. They won't have to move, of course. They're one of the teams that are involved, are already safe. And actually, we see Teepsy, who was actually in our he was in our show match game. I couldn't think of the word there for the minute, but if you remember Teepsy, Ryan, he played very, very well indeed. And now we see them just gathering up. Painter Disa as well was in that game. They are just now outside Stealthy Stronghold, as we see By My G here just hitting a few shots. A very interesting name, as the rotations begin to come in, doing a little bit of damage, just doing as much damage to that car as he can, trying to set it on fire, trying to make it explode, trying to take down a few builds. But he is going to back away and group up with his team.
Yeah, all in all, this is a prime opportunity now. A moment of silence across the map as Storm will continue to form and move its way around the map. Of course, teams being forced closer and closer together. In the meantime, though, something I do want to highlight is the less action we've seen this game over any other, because I feel like in this scenario there's been a lot more looting rather than anything else. You're seeing on the map right now, I just heard someone get absolutely beamed by a sniper there, but all in all, you know, you're looking at a fairly stacked lobby, but not as many people in it as the usual, not the 99 that we expected, rather just 75 players consisting of 25 trios, and that really will give an opportunity for the teams to try and make their way up the leaderboards, because there's less kills, which is unfortunate, but at the same time it's easier to get into those higher tiered placements, so they've got to just be cautious of that, wrap their heads around it and figure out what their next steps are. Nonetheless, it is going to be Zone 3, or rather Zone 2 about to form and begin with Zone 3. They've got to be careful of that storm, because it will start to deal more and more damage.
It's going to start ticking away here, as we see Lawful taking a little bit of damage, trying to rotate in the storm here. We see C9 Pay, who hit that insane sniper shot earlier on. He is now being held by SVG. Lizana doing a little bit of damage, 32, another 22, just ticking away. No shield now available. He has been cracked down, and he is now in an awful position, because they are just holding him in the storm. They do not have to move. They just need to keep applying pressure here. As we see, we're going to see a super bounce come in here. The shockwave and bouncer used to good effect, as he manages to get out of quite a troublesome situation. Now pressure coming onto Lizana, tries to go for a snipe there to take down Pay, give him a taste of his own medicine, but nothing available just yet. Trying to bounce her up on top of the high ground is Igonoma, his teammate. It will now begin to get in a fight. 17 teams remaining here, but I wonder for how long, as building up and up and up. Lizana is trying to, you know, get him down if he can. Going to drop his mate to Fish just to pick them up. Also, a bit of shield coming in there. Want to try and heal up in the box if they can. Spray from that P90 coming on through. A bouncer used as well. Lizana now getting up on top of the high ground. Will actually tag down Pay a little bit. Will take a little bit of damage though. Needs to be careful. Imagine is beginning to push him. Splash there, getting a knock as well in the kill feed. Now Pay down below is around half HP and needs to be careful. Lawful is very low too. So they could be in a little bit of trouble as we go over to Big Nag, trying to get into the box here. One player has already been knocked, as he's actually going to be shockwaved out. The shockwave actually just saving their life. Onyx, Hizix actually getting a kill there as well. Splash getting really, really aggressive. We talked about how good he was, how aggressive he was in the last few games, and he's going to get aggressive again, forcing this team to use all their splashes, and indeed a Slurpfish as well. Gonna just box up and try and survive for the moment, with just sheer aggression right now being brought out by teams. Blended You gonna be pushed here by My G, and now trying to get out. Will hit a bouncer, and the shockwave. By My G won't be able to hit any shots, and he will just be able to escape the danger.
Yeah, I mean, lots of damage coming on out, though. Mablo is going to get taken down. He is going to be finished. In fact, the whole big squad removed. Nagan took 69. Both sent back to the lobby. Hizik's going to be the man to clean things up alongside the rest of the Onyx squad. 15 teams remaining, 40 players still alive. Things are looking quite good for the remaining players. You know, top 15 will start to get you some points for placement. They've just got to be a little more careful of what they want to do. Nonetheless, still prime opportunity for teams to be caught out. Deal with Kyrex, looking for a quick kill. Bodkalev looking to try and make his way on over, rotating around within the area. Unfortunately, will not get any damage dealt. Instead, he'll be forced to back away and pull away from that gunfight as the zone closes in once again. Teams need to find their way on through. I hear a lot of shots rattling on through, not just from the perspective. And that's a lovely shot. Pate removed from the server. The Huntsman himself has been removed and really, ideally as well, sent back to that lobby, because I feel like his accuracy with that sniper that we saw, he was very aggressive as well in his playstyle, and he did very well for himself. So I feel like that's a threat neutralized definitely for every side now as we head into the top 15 teams. 14 remain, 38 players left. We'll have to wait and see what happens next, because of course now it's crunch time effectively. Teams need to figure out exactly what they want to do, because in these scenarios they've got to make as many moves as they can. The spam comes on through. Hell's actually just picked up 2 knocks immediately. In fact, he's going to finish one in the second as well. That's a huge amount of points to his name. And now the aggression from Deadlocks, Vorkras and Skipper there to try and make the move. Dreadlocks caught. P90 spam, rifle spam, everything is going to be sending his way right now as the heavy rifle continuing to pound the walls. He's forced to edit his way away. And look at that zone positioning. They're going to be stranded on an island as he takes huge damage. 74 HP remains. He's got the minis and the big pots to heal back up to that full 100 shield. And it's looking plenty, or rather, plenty of opportunity for this side to continue and to try and climb up the rankings. This is an opportunity for every side to try and do as much damage as we can, because we were talking about the fact that every bit of damage they do to the walls, to the players, anything, is good, because you're draining the resources, you're draining the builds, you're draining the rotations and everything to do with that. The mini pots being depleted from everyone's inventories at these later stages, and that is going to cost them everything.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there again. You know, you just want to try and drain the mats if at all possible, because if you don't have mats, you can't protect yourself. And if you can't protect yourself, you will go down. Especially, it's as simple as that. And especially in this, you know, late game, as we see the fourth storm beginning to move in 20 seconds before it reaches, and storm 5 begins to form. As we see Painter Disa picking up a few, and actually an elimination there from Dreadlocks. He managed to survive there. We've seen him building, just blocking shots earlier, and he will be rewarded for his gameplay as he picks up a kill. 33 players left alive, 12 teams now, and placement points will begin to be picked up by every single team. As we see now, 6 kills for Onyx, Hizix and his team, which is absolutely fantastic. Another 30 points as we jump over to Teepsy and his team, who actually only picked up 1 kill, surprisingly enough, considering, you know, how dominant they were in the show match. They were very, very impressive. Well, they impressed me anyway, and it's very, very weird to see them only have 1 kill, but it could change now as they begin to get up on top of the high ground. FaZe Mongrel is going to be taken out of the server. Hizix now has spotted a player rotating and will tag him down a little bit. Still a little bit of shield left on the player below, and will just be able to escape the AR bullets from above for the moment. Tagging Disa up in the back as well. Having a look around, seeing if he can spot any rotates coming in, any more people that he can get free shots away on, as we jump over to his teammate Splash, who is building up onto the high ground here. Gonna wait and see if he can catch anyone out in the open. He is currently very split from his team, as we see there. He does actually not have an AR. He's actually opted for that pistol. He does have a sniper available to him as well. Now tagging up that player, rotating in, doing a lot of damage to him. Might actually be taken out of the server. We're going to see Fingal go down. Fari will get the full kill on him, destroying bouncers to stop any rotation coming in. Probably a smart move from players below, as we see now Splash and his team up on the high ground and in pole position, maybe take a win in this game.
Absolutely, and this is prime opportunity. High grounds there. The 7th zone going to make its move in very shortly. This is going to be catastrophic to most. The positioning of everyone on the server right now is on the half closest to the new zone, and I mean, that was to be expected considering they couldn't go any further left because they'd be into the water. So, of course, this is a prime opportunity for everyone to just try and get the early rotate. By the looks of things, Disa and Teepsy, as you mentioned, the 2 players from the showdown last week, actually in a prime position to get that rotate done themselves on that east side of the zone, can get themselves right on around and find themselves in a great position to spam on through. Nothing to be found, however, damage is just going to be trying to be inflicted as there will be a jump pad used to try and get that rotation on through. Fowry right now looking to just try and scale the builds, get to the high ground and make his way on forward. By the looks of things, he's actually getting ready to make the prime rotation. He wants to be the first into the new zone. He knows people are there as he plays the peak. Lovely shot. He's going to walk away. Does fire off another shot. Nothing to be found. He's down to 50 health. He's going to get himself a shield in the meantime, however. And he's dropped to 25. He's getting spammed out in the AR to finish the job. It is Pepino to find a quick kill. He's going to be finished. And that's a kill to his name. More points and more problems. It's Skipper that falls. Kyrex is down in the zone as well, so he'll be removed. Volkriz is down. More players dropping like flies. Notivan is gone. Cyan is gone as well. And this is a prime opportunity now for teams to try and get the placements. This is where everything happens. And oh my word, Splash. Beaming. Silence washed out. The Sky is going to find a quick kill as well. The conversion as well to follow. And with that, he's just going to try and take the high ground. Build his way on up. And take his high ground alongside his teammates. Very well done. Drop low, got a kill, came back up. 9 teams remain. This could be a monstrous game for them because they've got 8 kills between them. The Onyx squad as well, sitting up top. This is going to be the final countdown, the final mark. It could just be the nail in the coffin for the majority of these teams. Splash opening fire, finding huge tag. Teepsy's going to drop a little bit of health immediately. It is going to be Hizix to find a quick kill onto Teepsy. The final kill found. Vima is going to get caught out. And with that, I think everyone basically got caught by that rift. There is going to be a few players on the floor, but there is 5 players in the air right now. Nothing to do. Splash looking up in awe because this could be a prime opportunity for him to try and get some kills. At the same time, there are his teammates up top as well, so he will be spamming on forward. Splash, disgusting. The marksman, he doesn't need people to be on the ground because he will destroy the man soaring out of the sky. The Eagle is no more in the meantime. He is going to get dropped to low HP, and I think that might just be the end. In fact, he is given an opportunity to stay alive, but don't give this man an inch because he will take it the mile. 7 players remain, 2 teams in fact, as another team falls. It's Disa to fall, and we're in what looks to be a 3 versus 2.
Boy, my G going to be taken down there. Splash is going to be dropped in the storm as we move into a 4-on-4. Pepino is just going to heal up. Onyx Hell still alive with the other Onyx player, Sizzix, as now Splash will be taken down. We're into a 1-on-1 Pepino and Onyx Hell. 200 HP. Pepino has the height, spraying down below, and a rather easy kill from him. A 10-kill victory from Pepino and his side. But again, Onyx, you know, with another 2nd place, that's a lot of placement points, and they are already up the top of the leaderboard, so they could extend their lead even further. Absolutely fantastic stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to do it. I was just trying to find them on the leaderboard. I couldn't quite find it, but it turns out, in fact, that the scoreboards update live. So when I say Shakos and co were eliminated from their game, they weren't. They delivered very, very well. They're still in 1st place, 281 points, but what a huge game from the Onyx squad. I think something to highlight as well is how strong this early game was on. I was talking about this earlier, the fact that there were so many kills in the early game. It died down in the mid game, and then it was absolute carnage in the late game. You're looking at Misty Meadows right now. Fari's 2k. He was able to picking himself up a lovely couple of kills, no problems at all. Ori, a man who was very silent up until this point. We hadn't seen him before, but he was managing to find himself something at least alongside his team. At this point, they were already at 4 kills. They were looking for 5. And although the builds were there, his time was imminent. They were able to take the opponent down at no problems at all. Splash taking a bite by the whale, or rather the shark, but they were able to get that purple, or rather the legendary P90. And then this is where things sort of took a silent turn. Pate, a lovely bit of rotation. We were talking about, you know, just how important that was. Basically, long jump world champion by the looks of things. He managed to get himself back in the zone, but then at the end of it all, Kyrex was able to beam him right on out. And it was from there on out, we just saw decimation on every front. Players dropping like flies around the server. Valerie, his time was imminent, tried to build his way on out, but got knocked and was swiftly disposed of. And from there on out, I mean, it was a swift game. Onyx doing a great job, but I think something to highlight as well is how good Splash was in that game.
Splash was so dominant, especially when he got up on the high ground here. And interestingly to know, I touched on it earlier, he just has a pistol. He's not using an AR. He doesn't have an AK, he doesn't have an AR available to him. He's just using a pistol, and I know Vimmer was very low, but just shooting him out of the sky, switching over to that tac shotgun, doing so much damage as well, managing to pick up a few kills. He was very influential, and you know, he was gaining more and more points by the minute for his team. Sadly, they could not come out on top. It was Pepino, by my G, and only P90 Rupa who will come out on top. They will get the victory royale. And again, absolutely fantastic stuff. The moments there brought to you, of course, by Intel. Absolutely fantastic to get a look at the highlights after the game. Have a quick look over. Yeah, Shaycause, you know, we didn't realize that the leaderboards updated live, but they finished in 13th place with 12 limbs. So, you know, still pretty good. They're still going very strong, as actually we see now Splash and his team, they've actually overtaken them. They are now on 207 points. But the team on top with 350 points, Tayson 7-4-18 with Rizane and Uguay. 2 wins from 2 for them, an average of 35 limbs, 2 games. That is absolutely fantastic. There's no other way to really describe it than utter and sheer dominance.
I mean, yeah, wow, is that a huge statistic to bring on board. 35 average eliminations, 210 of those points of the 350 that they've got from eliminations, 140 from placements, of course 70 points for winning a game. And so that is a huge amount to be won. Nonetheless, we'll give you a bit more of an update when we're back, but we're going to jump to a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Game 4 up next.
Looking for change. You ain't letting me play. You ain't bringing me down now. I'm a talk of the big town.
Welcome back, everyone. Boy, am I excited to be here, of course. Ryan Retro Bernard, joined by Jack Zerfa Kelly. We're back with game 4 of 5. This is going to be an interesting one. All to play for, as we mentioned in the pre-game. Top 500 trios make it through to the second game. The playoffs, or the second day, excuse me. The playoffs, of course, being played tomorrow, December 11th. And then from there on out, the finals in December 12th. The top 33 duos make it on through. And we will crown our first victor on Saturday. Nonetheless, we're kicking things off, dropping down a lot of people heading towards Steamy Stacks by the looks of things. That's where my eyes drawn, and looking also towards Stealthy Stronghold could be a huge amount of PvP going down. As by the looks of things, the green team in the top right have just diverted to a little bit of a housing estate just above. But Steamy Stacks overall looking populated. 3 different teams. The bottom side of the map also looking very heavily crowded. And I'd like your opinions on this one, Jack. Who do you think, you know, is someone to look out for? Obviously, we don't know who's in this lobby as of yet. We can see on screen Crashkey, Diablo, and Co. Crashkey definitely rings a name for me. And so, I was just wondering, do you know, have you got any expectations heading into this one? Do we want to see a one-sided affair, or do we want to see someone that's, you know, an underdog, maybe?
I'd love to see an underdog. You know, obviously you need to get into the top 500 to qualify for tomorrow. So there'll be a lot of teams now might be getting a bit aggressive, realizing, you know, that they need some kills. You know, they need good placement to get in. So we might see a more interesting game. Even though, that being said, every game has been absolutely fantastic so far. As we see Vitality Hawkers and his team already down someone Shockwave into the box here from Etsy as he looks for Godsend. Dennis trying to find him. He's actually going to jump into his box. He's so low, he's actually going to get taken down. Vitality Hawkers tries to come in and help, but Demon Clinger will drop him and take him out of the server. And I mean, dying off spawn again, especially now that we're getting into the later games, it is not what you want to see. You want to be getting as many points as possible, want to be getting them placement points, and want to be securing, if you can, your spot in tomorrow's playoffs. And you know, really, really impressive so far. You know, three duos, or trios should I say, already eliminated, and it's just early on. A little bit more stack server. I believe we only had 75 in the last lobby, but now we have the full 99, so I am really excited for this one.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think something to highlight as well, as you mentioned, 3 trios already gone, 10 players removed from the server. It's looking like obviously a full lobby, but it's looking a lot more intensive, and you can definitely see the difference between these lower tiered lobbies, and where like only 75 people in, and you're looking at 99 people lobbies. Diablo, is he going to go for it? Fires a shot, misses. Unfortunately, that would have been an unreal shot to have witnessed, but he is going to back on away and fall back from a point of contact. Lots of kills going down. We're watching Espiza right now, and his teammate Matza has just fallen, excuse me. And now this is a prime time for the rest of their squad to try and make their move. They know that players are above them. They know that they've got to be cautious of this. And by the looks of things, they are just going to edit their way on out. Vincent going to run for his life. Got to be careful, though. These buildings are only made of wood, so he's going to have to try and make his way on up, and he'll do so very successfully. Going to continue editing his way on through. Actually outplays, but does go down. That could have been huge. Snack could have been caught lacking. Instead, Vinted going to take a tack shot to the head after being shaken down. And the legendary pistol in the hands of Le Poisson.
Yeah, Le Poisson, 16 HP, just about surviving. Going to be dropped over a med kit by his teammates. Them coming out on top there. 3 kills straight away towards Lazy, and I believe they now have all of Lazy as we go to Ego Nima and his team. I believe we've already seen them here. Lizana definitely rings a bell as they are in Slurpy Swamp. Having a look as you see Rumpich taking a lot of damage. He needs to be careful now because he is being heavily pushed. Notavan will not let him heal if at all possible. Just going to try and get in his face. Actually going to sit in the bush here for a little while, maybe to wait for his teammates to get a little bit closer. Now he's going to begin to build up, charging up that charged shotgun a little bit, trying to hit a shot if he can, getting involved in this build fight. Does have a good bit of health available to him, but needs to be careful because he's being spammed out. Rumpich just dropping down, trying to get out. His teammate providing a little bit of cover for him to get away from that exchange. BQ, of course, to the left, and Ginaz to the right. Needs to be very, very careful. But as we see, Big Pot going to be dropped over, going to heal up before he gets more involved. His teammates have now arrived on the scene to, of course, give help where needed. But Rumpich is still down below, and he is going to begin to push, realizing that they need some kills. The Edit going to come on in, should I say, as now he is going to be pressurized. They're looking for him, but for the moment he is building away from them, just trying to keep them out with all these builds, building up to the high ground where VQ has now accompanied his teammate to lend a helping hand. And now Bam coming on through. Lizan taking a lot of damage. Sickney is actually taking a good bit of damage as well. Everyone getting so low. The charge shotgun being charged up, that can really pack a punch, and it's definitely not something you want to be getting hit by in these box fights. VQ, he is going to be taken down. He is going to be dropped. I believe the Rez will need to come in on him, but he is going to be full killed, and Rumpich is going to go down as well, leaving Sickney all alone. And he has very little health to do so. He's going to get aggressive if he can. Iganoma up above him on the high ground. No Tavan building up as well. No shield on him, but I don't think it will matter too much because Sicknays is so low. Trying to go and maybe shoot him down, but building up and up away if he can at all possible. Now being pressured. Bill's coming in, trying to survive. 5 HP. Will he get away? No, he'll get taken down. Lizana will drop him. Notavan surviving just on 22 HP. Ego Noma as well, as 26 teams remain, 75 left in the server.
A quarter of the lobby near enough dropped as we look towards not even the first zone formed just yet. The zone is closing in, however, so this is an opportunity for teams to try and make their move, get into that zone, early rotate, because looking at the map right now, if you're in a position like yellow or anywhere around the outskirts, to be quite honest with you, you know, you're looking at a possible chance in which you can catch out a team that's trying to rotate into the zone, because the pressure of the zone is enough, never mind a team spamming bullets, raining hell on you. So it definitely is an opportunity now for both of these sides to, or rather all the sides that are currently in the zone, to make their move, to try and remove the factor of a flank, and also to get yourself some kills, because of course every kill matters in these scenarios. You know, every point counts, especially in times like this. In the second to last game, the penultimate round, the first day, the qualification stage, of course, it's an opportunity for everyone to realize, wait a minute, we've got to get kills. And in the last game, I'm expecting some absolutely ridiculous plays, because teams are fighting for survival. The leaderboard constantly changing, the top 500 constantly flicking between different people. It could go any way, and it will require the final count to see who will come out on top and move to the second day, the playoffs, of course, the top 500 trios.
And yeah, as we just seen there, we were watching the W key guys, but it's actually not going to be the W key guys. It's going to be Uguay here and Tayson with Razer as well, who are actually out in front for the moment. They're getting aggressive, they're getting into boxes, and they're actually going to pick up a kill. Arnie Pro is going to be taken down, and a kill confirmed there from him. Already on 4 kills this game. This team really, really aggressive. Mape West is just going to get out of there, has rifted and has gotten away, left his trio's card behind. Angrio as well is beside him, but they're actually now getting followed in the air. All teams have been rifted, and they are pushing them and hunting them down, not letting these kills get away if they can. And it looks like they've been split. Mappy needs to be careful as he's flying in towards another trio. Uguay gonna pop another rift. I believe it was actually Angrio who is still being followed by Uguay. He is not letting this up. He knows that he has no shield. He knows that he has no health at all, and Uguay wants to put pressure, but he's being spammed out of the sky for the moment. He's being tagged up, and this is not the pressure. He is having a terrible time right now as he tries to escape.
Yeah, I think he's actually just trying to fly into the zone. Yeah, he has. He's going to try and die to zone rather than anything. Uguay just using this time, chasing him down, trying to find the kill. They've brought him so far away, but he's sticking on him. And yeah, he's going to die to zone. A smart play to be made. Oh, no, he's not. He's there, and he's going to find the kill. Worth every penny, because he's able to get the heals. He's able to rotate back in. And in the early stages of the zone, that's a huge frag to get. Very well chased down. Precisely done, and he knew exactly what he was doing. Kept his nerve, and that was the most important thing. But speaking of keeping your nerves, I mean, by the looks of things, Alex 5, he won't be able to, because there's teams flooding in from every angle. Frog looking for a quick kill. He's going to have to edit the half wall and jump on through. Places the stair and tries to get on up towards the high ground. Going to try and box himself in, however, moves to the low ground and avoids any more fights being taken for the time being, at least. So there is one player that has dropped. That's on Alex's squad. In fact, Frog and Alex are on the same side. In fact, they're not. There's 2 different people coincidentally running into the same problem. Alex 5 and Frog both in similar engagements, both in similar scenarios. And sadly, Alex will make it out alive. Frog will not. Now it's a fight for survival. Look at the amount of people in this area. You've got to be petrified if you're one of these teams just trying to survive, trying to make it through, because there's still only 24 teams remaining. So you're not going to get any points for placement. You've got to continue this streak and move their way on forward. Shields looking for more. He's going to use his shock wave on through. Looking for a quick kill onto Alex 5. Will he be able to convert? Yes, he will. 3 points of health remaining. He's going to need to find the kill to heal back up, and he will not. Maybe just now he will. But he is on 3 points of health. He's going to try and use the mini pots to heal back up. Instead, he won't. Spots out the legs. Is going to find a quick tag up. He will find the conversion in the end. And with that, he's gifted points. But more importantly, health. Because that's going to keep him going.
We saw on the kill feed there, Reason the team that are out in front, picking up another kill. Shields, of course, now all alone. Has 2 kills, but he has no teammates to help him. Now, Uguay getting a knock as well there. They are having so much success towards this top of the map, and in every game, as we see now, Lucky RV1 and Seat now just boxed up, taking a few snipes here, trying to put a little bit of damage, and another knock out there from Tayson and Rezane. They are absolutely rolling towards that top side of the map, as now they're actually coming up here. They're actually going to be held in the storm for the moment, because rotating in, closing in is that circle. They need to be careful. Shots ringing out from these snipers that are just perched up here in these builds. 54 players still remaining. We go out. Oh, another knock, as now just W keying these players, just showing complete and utter domination right now, as they keep on ringing the knocks through. 21 teams, as we see a quick lull in the server. Now we have a quick look at the map. The blue team there up the north there, they need to get really a move on, as we hear there's going to be a res coming in, I believe in Slurpy Swamp. So be interesting to see what team is getting at least one of their players back. As now we go over to Tayson, Uguay and Rayson, who are in another fight again, putting pressure on these teams, trying to get them down. They know there's a player below them, charging up that charged shotgun. They know how powerful it can be, just want to get the charge up, and now trying to take walls, take builds, managing to do it. Spots out Legend, will actually take him down. A good pick there from Tayson, as he now knows exactly there's one player in the box, and Whites won't be able to hold that wall and res him at the same time. So now trying to take more walls, Tayson will, and cracks him, absolutely rattles him with a shot, and now begins to push in, taking splashes. Now he needs to be careful. Tayson realizes the imminent danger around him, begins to build just above him, just to stop any players from getting in, but his teammates are now putting on pressure, getting in the box, able to pick up one. Tayson is actually gonna go down. White will pick up a kill, tries to get the finish, actually will, but his teammates come out on top. The card will be picked up. I wonder, will they be able to get a res off? But this team out in front are definitely a force to be reckoned with. 14 kills already, 49 people still in the server.
Yeah, obviously losing a player is going to be a huge impact to the later stages where you need to find the kills, but at the same time, they've already done so much. 14 kills, as you mentioned, and that's not even including the amount of points that they're going to get from this placement, because I guarantee you that this team is going to find themselves in the top 10 teams, unless now Devo approaching on site. This could be the time that it turns pear-shaped, because Uguay is left alone. His teammate nowhere to be seen. Oh. That's a huge amount of damage done. Nice shot, pickaxe to death. In fact, Uguay going to be the man to find it, and that was a huge kill needed, because that's more points. Oh, Uguay, that's disgusting. How was he hitting that out of the sky? Needle in a haystack, but he still manages to make it work, and he does not stop. 9 kills. This man's a machine. He will not falter from the fact that he is probably the best player in the server. He is on fire, and he is Uguay 74.
I'm speechless, Ryan. I'm absolutely, like, them shots are insane, and he's hitting them. 17 kills already. You were saying, oh, he's in a little bit of trouble. The W keyers of the game getting W keyed, and he just absolutely shuts down the aggression as if it was nothing. As if it was absolutely nothing. Absolutely fantastic here. We're going to see the splashes coming in. They flip the car back over. They get back on the road and begin to rotate into this third storm. And where they're heading, there are a lot of people. And actually, you know, a lot of weakened trios. As we see, Shields is on his own. 2 players coming in behind him is on his own. And Shields, oh no, this could be big trouble for him. He is being pushed by that team. And he could be, he's actually gonna get finished. Razen will take him down and add another kill to the list, another trio into the graveyard, as now we sit and wait for the fourth storm to form.
Yeah, this is going to be a prime opportunity now. Teams have got to make their move, and they've got to make it quite quickly, because obviously the storm, you're given less and less time to make those changes, those movements around the map. And this is going to be problematic for some teams. For others, such as the one you can see just there running up the hill, as they will be able to make their way on up. This could be an engagement, though. Neox, Madar, and Yokai looking to try and take down the squad just up ahead of them. They've got some to their right as well that they've got to be cautious of. They do spot out the builds, and so this will be a patient wait for them. Egonoma, excuse me, Notavan and Lizana there, as well as Efzon, Sebond, and by the looks of things, they are ready to get going. Everyone around the area right now, this is where these box plays are going to have to come in, because everyone is posted up. They don't want to make that move. They don't want to be the players, the teams to make that. Yokai going to get dived on. Uguay's there, of course he is. The man is an absolute menace. And oh my god, they do not stop. Yokai goes down. And of course it's Uguay destroying competition left, right, and center. There is no way they're surviving. It is Uguay. It is best player Tayson. And it is their trio that moves their way more and more on up. It is disgusting. 22 kills to their name as of right now. They're not done just yet. There's more teams looking to catch it. It's Knudsen. He's just going to get absolutely destroyed. Rezen not here to mess around as he finds another. And we were talking about teams needing monstrous games. This is on a whole nother level. They're not stopping. Another kill on Rezen. Uguay trying to find shots. And it's unreal scenes.
And I mean, you know, when we were looking at the leaderboard, I said it was an insane stat. You know, the average elims on the board, I believe it was something like 35 average elims. Yeah, I'm beginning to see why now. These guys are absolutely rolling. It looks like they're smurfing in this lobby. It's absolutely insane. 42 players, remaining 17 teams. And I don't think I've actually ever seen aggression like this. It is absolutely insane. Picking them up as we take a look at the match status. The Storm Ice shrinking. 42 players remain. Uguay with the most eliminations down in front. Actually, 191 longest elimination, 191 meters. That is fairly far. And an insane shot there as well. We are, however, gonna jump on over to preserve Nay, Kaiser FN, and Zodia, who are up on the high ground as the 5th storm begins to form and begins to move in. And they're just perched up. They're pretty happy not to take any shots yet. Not for the moment, anyway. They will need to rotate because they are not in storm, as we see Rizane taking another life away. This man really is the Grim Reaper of the lobby. He is just taking everybody's souls and ruining everyone's day. And now we see a few rifts coming in here. Eganoma trying to get up high and get away. Rizane trying to get down as quick as he can. Tayson picking up another kill. As now Preserve Nav spamming in the air. Oh, hit some nice shots there as the jump pad gonna come in. Super jump. Actually, YouTube Magic gonna jump up on top and gonna box them in for the moment. Preserve Nav happy enough to box up as now the build fight will commence. They're gonna get up on top of the high ground and maybe challenge this. Having a look, see if he can catch anyone rotating in. Again, Rizane getting another confirmed kill. Nico being taken out this time as Zodia with that legendary heavy assault rifle spamming below through the builds. It will tag you up. It will hurt you, especially if you're low HP. Heals coming in. Tayson taking out Bappy West. And I mean, it is all going down in this circle. 10 seconds left. The storm forming. And oh my, a lot to talk about, Ryan.
Yeah, I can't wait till the aftermath of this so we can see the true domination that has taken place. I'm so intrigued to watch the best team in action. They are statistically the best, and they're proven to be, because Uguay, I mean, what a menace that man is. They will not stop for anyone as they do find themselves in #1 right now, and they will continue that streak, because this team, as you mentioned, they look like they're in a game that they shouldn't be in. They look like they're smurfing. This team, unbelievable talent. And I mean, you know, that's another team that we saw in the beginning. We were talking about it as well. I forgot the team name exactly and who was on it, but we were talking about the fact that there was no way with a 35 kill game that we wouldn't see them in the second day. And I told you that if they can to try and get more kills and more games like that, then they're definitely going to be seen in the second day. And I think we're looking at a team that is going to make it to day 3, because non-stop domination is how I would describe that. Everyone right now trying to rotate to the new zone. Krashki, a man that we've said his name many a times before, has delivered for his team, but he needs to go huge this game. They're yet to get a kill in total between them, and that is an interesting statistic to face. You know, not being in the best of scenarios could lead to huge problems. Nay, gonna try and look up into the sky and try and cap some players there, but unfortunately nothing to be found. Uguay, I saw him on screen just a second ago, and I cannot wait to see him again. And by the looks of things, Walser is going to be the man to fall, and it's just down to one. Try the last man left. Azuv trying to make his way on forward towards the zone. Going to be pressured from the heavens. He's got to be cautious of this as he's going to pop a rift. Try and use that to get a free rotate to that penultimate zone. 45 seconds until it forms. And you can see the amount of builds going down. The amount of problems that are going to be faced by every single team. And this is really just an opportunity for teams to have a bit of peace to themselves, because all the time teams are rotating, it's times in which teams aren't shooting. So this is your prime opportunity to just find your way into a nice position, build up, make sure you're fortified. I'll finish that just there. Absolutely lasered right out the sky. No more life for him. He's decimated. He's going to try and crawl towards his teammate, Asayat, who will be able to res him if possible. So not all over just yet. But look at the amount of damage done already. That's going to require so much. And I don't even think his teammate's going to try and go for the res. He might stick it in the later stages, and he will do so now. But he waited a bit of time, had to make sure that nobody was around. Zodia going to try and take on the king. Spans on forward with the heavy AR. Got to be cautious of the ammo count, though. He's got 22 bullets left, and that is it. So he's going to have to ask his teammates for a bit of a drop. Nonetheless, he will find his way back up to 43. Get a clip loaded at least. But more importantly, I've not seen many kills from the Uguay side in the feed. As I say that, they find 2 kills immediately, or rather just 1. It's Uguay there to clean things up. And they will be looking for more. Kaiser got the high ground, looking for more as we head into the penultimate, or rather the last zone now, as they've got 1 minute and 30 until it closes.
And I mean, 1 minute 30 till it closes. We're having a look here. Another team getting eliminated. Zodia just getting a few kills. His teammate Kaiser now dropping out. He's down on the high ground. Needs to be careful because he's being tagged up and he's going to be taken out of the server. As we move over now to Uguay. Oh my, look at the amount of kills that this team has. 34 already. This is probably gonna be a new record for them in this tournament. Anyway, Peripherals finding another kill as we move over to Resonate. Now having a look, seeing what he can find, spamming away, doing a little bit more damage. Uguay actually gonna go down. Kodaks will drop him. Crashkey will just confirm that kill. Tayson and Resonate will have to be the only 2 players. They will have to carry the torch for their team if they are going to pick up a victory here. A 3rd victory all in all for them. As now Codex will drop Saya, and we're now into a 2 players remaining, I believe. Tayson and Resonate into a 2-on-2. Going to be built up on, needs to be careful. The zone is getting so small, and Resonate is going to go down and actually dies to Storm there as well. Tayson still up, yet to take any damage. Codex, I believe, is so low there as well, and the victory royale is going to come in. Resonate is going to get back up, and oh my god, what a game that was. 35 kills from them, not quite a record in this tournament. 37, but another win out on top there. And Ryan, do I even need to ask you who was your MVP of that game? Like, it wasn't even fair.
No, it's open. Any team can join, but they make it look like that they're playing against the bots. They really do, because they dominate every game. So may I remind you, that was our 4th game being played as far as I remember, and this team have only got 3 games recorded, meaning that they missed a game and are still in 1st place. The ridiculousness of that is mind-boggling. Nonetheless, they're still in 1st place, and rightly so. They've got just under a 50-point lead on 2nd place, which is Andalex, Sweeze, and Janice. So a team that we haven't particularly seen so far, but definitely hot contenders. 3 games, and by the looks of things, 3 victory royales for the top squad. And I mean, you're looking at what was the start of another dominating game. This team did not stop for anyone. You could not derail the hype train, because if you tried, this team would clap back. And this is the play I was on about. So smart from Uguay. Chase the player down. He has no shield, he has no opportunity, and it's a free kill. And they did not stop from there. You see 59 players alive in that stage, and they had, I think, roughly around 10 kills at that time, meaning that they cleared out a third of the lobby from here on out. And to think of that, it is absurd. A third of the lobby at 60 players? That is ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. As we see here, Tayson actually goes down here, and he is finished. And you thought maybe, all right, they might slow down a little bit, but they managed to get him back. Uguay here, this was insane. Devo W key, trying to W key Uguay, and he just gets shut down, gets pickaxed when he's on the ground, and his team followed suit after. And I'd be actually surprised if we see anyone else other than Tayson and his trio in this Intel Moments highlights, because they were just so insane. Of course, Nay here with some good shots there, rotating in, did a lot of damage. They got landed on top by YouTube I'm Magic. Managed to survive for a little bit though. And yeah, as you were talking there, the leaderboard's actually updated. So Tayson and Co are now, they now have a 100 point lead. I believe it is 118 points between first and second place. 3 games, 3 wins, with an average elims of 35. And I mean, you know, when you're averaging 175 points a game, like, how are you meant to compete with that? It's absolutely insane. We will definitely see them tomorrow, and I am very confident. I'm going to go out on a limb and say we will see them on Saturday as well. As now,
oh yeah,
Razer, he gets dropped in the storm, you know, and now back over to, as you put it quite rightly, the kings of this server, Reason A and Tyson, doing as much damage as they could. Crashy dropping into the box here, doing loads of damage, taking down Reason A, but actually Crashkey got knocked in the storm, couldn't get the kill. Codex went down to storm as well, and the victory royale coming on through.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Just wow, that performance was unbelievable. But as you mentioned, there's no doubt we're going to see them on Saturday. I'm 100% backing you on that, because this team is indestructible by the looks of things. Only one player taken down in the later stages. You know, to keep 2 players alive or 3 players alive for that long, that core roster did not budge with anyone, and finally they got rid of a third of the problem, but that 2/3 just managed to morph into that third player. They did not need 3, and as I mentioned, they've only played 3 games of the 4 that could have been played, meaning that they still missed one, and they still managed to be number 1. And as you mentioned, by over 100 points is absurd. To average 175 a game, words cannot describe how good this roster is, and no doubt we'll be seeing them tomorrow. There is no way we won't see them tomorrow, but the question is, will we see them on Saturday? Nonetheless, we're going to throw it to a quick break. We'll be right back with the last game of the evening, Game 5. Don't go anywhere.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our fifth and final game of the day, and what a day it has been. Some absolutely insane plays coming out here and really exciting gameplay, and no doubt there is going to be more of that to come. Really excited for this fifth and final game. Of course, everyone battling out to be in that top 500. You want to be in the top 500 trios to make it to tomorrow, make it into the playoffs, and have a chance to make it into the top 33 trios on the final day, which is on Saturday. So, Ryan, really impressive. The last game was utterly dominated by Tayson and co out in first. Do you think we're going to have more of the same in this game? Of course, that we can't see, you know, who is in this lobby, but do you think it's going to be we're going to see more domination like that?
I think we will. I think that there is going to be someone in the server that slays. Maybe not as well as Ukwe, Resonate, and Tayson did, but most certainly, I do believe that we are going to see a team that absolutely stomps through the opposition in this game. It has to happen. I feel like, you know, there is going to be someone that frags so well that, you know, they manage to get themselves points. There's going to be teams that just play for the points, for the victory, and that's what matters, you know. In a time like this, we're talking about the best players, you know, the top 3, let's per se, that I've mentioned at least majorly. But you know, there are still tens upon, well, rather thousands of players, hundreds of duos that we still haven't even discussed. You know, I'm looking at people that are currently sitting around, you know, like, I'd say top 5. I'm looking at 400 to 500 right now, and the gap between 500 to 400 is quite literally a matter of 30 points. So it honestly can change in one game. I think that's the most surprising thing about it. Anything can happen, and I really hope that we see a team that isn't exactly in the top 5, or maybe not in the top 500, or in the lower half of the top 500, to really shine, because that's what matters, and I really want to see that. The underdogs, of course, we want to prevail. Last game, we hoped for that. But, I mean, we got the complete opposite. We got the number 2 become the number 1s. The kings of kings. The absolute, you know, the best of the best in this right now. And we come back, and I'm hoping maybe for a slightly different stance. I'm hoping for a sick win, but from an unknown team, let's just say.
And yeah, hopefully that these guys that are in and around, you know, that 500 mark, you know, they can make it up. As we see, actually, switch to the P90 here. The spray coming in. Happy FN will get the kill, but he will get knocked in the process. His teammate now, you know, 1v1 with Halsik, as now he will be tagged down and will be taken out of the server. The second trio to be eliminated. The Rez gonna come in here. Hazuki Vortex is gonna be picked up by Big Ragnads. I mean, everyone is battling it out. Everybody wants to be in the game tomorrow. Everybody wants to be in the top 33 tomorrow to advance to the final. Of course, some sick prizes there. And just while we have a quick lull in the game, make sure that you guys at home have typed !ticket to see if you are actually eligible. There will be a giveaway after this game for a Razer Viper mouse, so make sure that you are continue watching. I believe if you have been watching for over an hour, you will receive 1 ticket, but make sure to have typed !ticket to get involved. Make sure to have your whispers turned on, and we will be announcing the winner at the end of the day. And also, if you've enjoyed the Fortnite and think that you can do better, make sure to join up. Of course, if you haven't joined, or even if you have joined and you're not going to make it into the top 500 of this tournament, there are still 5 more tournaments held almost every weekend. Of course, if you look down below, you will see the dates. I believe the next tournament is next week. Make sure to go ahead and sign up and get involved.
Of course, and if, as you mentioned, if Fortnite's not for you, then we've got so many giveaways. Of course, we're giving away a Razer Viper mouse at the end of this one. Make sure to do !ticket to get yourself a ticket, !points, and tells you how many points you've got. And of course, at the end of it all, we'll be able to give away an awesome mouse. But that happens every time we stream, may I remind you. So, you know, you can tune in daily and keep doing this. Keep watching these streams. Watch the awesome content that these players provide you, as well as, you know, us on the casting couch and everything like that. It's an awesome event to be watching. And overall, I mean, you can get yourself some awesome loot out of it. So I think that it's a great opportunity for everyone. Nonetheless, back to the action. Already 3 teams dropped. A lot of the lobby already gone. 22 players to be precise. That's a large amount of people to be dropped in the meantime. Look at BLM. Look at his position right now. Way behind the enemy lines, but might be able to get himself in on the action. By the looks of things, he's not going to risk it. Just going to wait. Try and sink on a way. This could be huge, though. He could find himself some swift shots, and he will. 50 damage done. He's going to try and build his way on out. He's going to try and swim away as well. And it'll be no problems at all for him. In the meantime, Dr. Pack's going to try and take the aggression from up front. BLM going to take a little bit of damage in the meantime. So this team definitely kept on their toes. He's going to continue to take damage. And of course, not really much else other than the splashes on him. So he'll only be able to heal for about 40. And there on out, he'll be on his own with nothing to help with. Nonetheless, we are in a moment of silence once again. I see you all spamming the enter or the ticket commands and all of that. Additionally, make sure you tune in tomorrow when we start streaming at, of course, 4:30 p.m. Central European, or rather GMT, so 5:30 CET, and you can get your hands onto some awesome products such as Pringles. You can get yourself 25 box of Pringles, courtesy of Pringles, of course, and our lovely partners within this tournament. Nonetheless, back to the action. Sub-Zero, excuse me, looking for a quick kill, swiftly denied. Best player, Daves, is there. That name looks awfully familiar, but unfortunately, it isn't the one and only. It is a clone, but a clone well worth, because he has just found himself a quick kill. Dan, in the meantime, is going to take a bit of damage. Apipoa, excuse me, going to look to come back for seconds, come back for more, as he's absolutely just emoting on people right now. The BM is there, as he and his teammate are left alive. They do lose one in the process, but it will not matter, because of course the reboot card is still there, and considering where they are, they've got plenty of time to make that change.
As you see here, Gal's going to go down, going to be thrown into the box. Of course, when you knock a player, you don't want to be killing them in their box. You want to get them into your own build so you can't get edited on. A smart play really there, as now we move over to the Era team, where Keezy is going to start spamming. Won't be able to hit any shots here, as a visual Quark eating so many mushrooms. The stomach must be full at this stage. He has a pepper popped as well, getting in to his teammate. He's actually going to get tagged up there. Keezy doing so much damage to him, 29 HP. Gonna try and get some shield back now, as Keezy getting really aggressive again, putting the pressure here onto Prelkent below the bridge there. Krashki also getting involved. We saw him earlier. Keezy will be able to get a kill, but Daniel will go down in the meantime, and Cena will fall as well. He is now all alone. He has got the kill, but at what cost? Because his team has been pushed by Krashki, Codex, and Diablo, and he has lost 2 of his mates, and they have all the mats, all the hell in the world, and now the Storm is going to come in. He does have 3 kills. He's just going to hide here and try and survive. The Storm, of course, only ticking for 1 at the moment, so it won't do too much damage. Just hoping that this team forget about him, think that he's already rotated, and begin to move on out, as we switch now over to Doc B, Alex 5, and Rikus, who are just getting in the zone. And careful, silence washed. He's going to try and get into the water here. Actually, will lose a lot of shield there. Still has a tiny little bit for the moment, as Rico's now getting into the zone, grouping up with his team, throwing a med kit to Alex 5, who is taking a lot of damage, in and around 10 or 20 HP. Needs to just survive, as big Ragnar's in the kill feed, picking up 2 quick kills. Absolutely fantastic from him. You want to see that, especially in the late game. You want to be getting as many kills as possible in our final game of the day. And it looks like we're going to see a disengage here. CW are just going to get into their cars. They're going to drive away, and they're going to head to zone.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame them, to be honest with you. Early rotation definitely necessary in a scenario like this. 24 teams remain, 64 players of the original 99, 33 trios, of course. And now, this is where things get really interesting. Goodrich, he's decided to burrow. He's just chilling. Just using the sand as his way of rotation, not giving all too much away. And considering he's lost a player already, oh, this is huge. This could have been huge. I just realised that he was on his team. So I thought for a second there that could have been a huge play to make. Nonetheless, reunited with his friend once more. And they can continue their siege on forward towards the new zone. They desperately need it. And I don't blame them, to be honest with you. I feel like this is a prime opportunity for teammates to rotate. Because leave it too late and you're going to get caught lacking.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. You don't really want to be caught lacking. You don't want to be caught rotating at all. You want to get into the zone. You want to stay there. You want to box up. And you want to punish the teams rotating late. As you see, we have a few teams actually rotating late. A lot of teams, actually, I'd say the majority of them are outside the circle. So they'll need to get in. They'll need to get a move on. As now the second storm will just about be ready to come in. It is now going to start now, 2 minutes before it reaches its intended destination, as we drop to 66 players in the server. Exactly 2/3 left in the lobby, as now we see Termo here, who is just sitting in the sand with his teammate, just hiding. Just, you know, don't want to take any engagements. They're just going to move around in the sand. Nobody spotted them out just yet. Also conserving builds for the moment. They don't need to build just yet unless they get sprayed on top of by a few players. As we see QW Elite here getting aggressive here. Ollie's taking a little bit of damage here. His mates have joined him as the box fighting continues. Ollie needs to get out of there. He's taking so much damage and he's getting so heavily pressured here. Shot in the back here. QW needs to just block up for the moment. 64 health. He's going to eat a flopper and he's going to need to pop those small pots just to survive. Still boxed up as we move on to Daniel Ox here, who is just with the pistol and the charged shotgun. 2 legendary weapons, 5 big pots and 4 shockwave grenades in his inventory. The QW Elite actually gonna fall there. In the meantime, I believe he will be rezzed, and I think he is actually split for the moment from his team. I don't know if the res will come in. I think he might have just been killed there. Might have got punished for getting too aggressive. But I just seen in the background Pepino, who actually won our 3rd game. So it'd be interesting to see where they actually place.
Yeah, of course. And now this is where things become interesting, because we haven't actually seen anyone pull anything out the bag. We haven't seen the dominance that we saw last game, nor did we, you know, see a notable name to the table. You know, there's some teams that have got a respectable amount of kills, but other than that, I mean, we're looking at squads that aren't exactly, you know, top tier right now. I don't think anyone in the leaderboard, at least in the top 10, is within this game, and I think that says a lot, because I've seen a couple of people in the kill feed a couple of times, but all in all, it's not exactly a scenario in which there are clear winners, and that's what we want to see. I want to see an underdog competition. I want to see something interesting happen, because don't get me wrong, last game was interesting, but it was for completely different reasons as to why you would assume that this one would be interesting had no one from the higher areas be playing this one.
Yeah, it's a lot interesting to see. You know, it's fun to watch the sheer domination, but not 2 games in a row. You want to see a bit of a competitive game, and that last game, you know, it really wasn't that. Which I did not think that we were going to see. You know, that kind of utter domination, just sheer aggression from that team. They didn't really stop. I think their W keys must be stuck in their keyboards, because they just kept pushing every single team they saw. They just kept fighting, and now we're just seeing everybody being a bit more passive here. 22 teams left in the server, and 58 players. So, you know, everyone just boxing up. Everyone seems kind of just happy enough to sit where they are for the moment.
Yeah, I think this is a definite opportunity now. Looking at the screen right now, I see Pepino, only P90, and Zalo, and I do remember seeing those names from a couple of games ago. I feel like they won a game earlier on today. I feel like that was game 2 that we saw them. Maybe a similar name. Pepino definitely rings a bell, however. Hopefully we can get one of that shortly. But all in all, I don't think there's anyone in the server that I've seen before. Rather, you know, in a high competitive sort of scenario, you know, in the top spots, as I was mentioning. So it'll be very interesting to see how this one plays out. Nonetheless, moment of silence. No one really doing all too much right now. I guess this is the time waiting it out, just trying to deal as much as they can without taking much, because of course, I say it time and time again, it matters every bit if you can just apply some pressure to different teams. And oh my god, we just had someone get beamed. Double dink comes on through by the looks of things. It's Daniel Ox. The players from earlier, they're going to get destroyed because there's a team rocking up on them. We'll have to go to that in just a second. In the meantime, this is the opportunity, and this is a gunfight that we're looking into right now. Huge pressure being applied. Shando looking for a quick kill. Unfortunately, they are 2 steps ahead. Many are builds ahead as well, as it will be the disengage coming on through. Not trying just yet, though, as it's a huge shot, but unfortunately, players from every angle. QB falls, and we look to head into our final 50 players.
Yeah, as we head into the final 50 players, we see Shashando will need to pick up a few bits of shield. He will do so, as now we see, yeah, Pepino and only P90 Rupa, who were, yeah, they were the winners of the 3rd game, I feel. It was the 3rd game anyway, yeah. Not too sure myself for the moment. I'm pretty sure they might have had maybe another player playing with them. Maybe I'm wrong now. I could be wrong, as we see the Storm just beginning to form. We see a few players towards the outskirts that'll need to, you know, continue to move in. A few players still boxed up. As you see the orange team there on the left of your screen, they are in a very decent position. They are on a high ground, as now we move over to Gaikus and Ragnaz and Vortex, who are moving in. They already have 7 kills, so 35 points already, plus the placement points that they are going to get from this game. And he's going to be picked on over. Pepino now 0 kills for them, as they are just boxed up, not taking any engagements for the moment, just seeing if they can spot out any players and see if they can, you know, decide on a target to put pressure on. Because right now you just really want to, you either want to box up or you either want to isolate a few players on their own, put pressure on them, join in with whoever is spamming on through. As you see, Ollie's actually taking a lot of damage in that mid box there, and I believe Razor's just actually gone down. Be able to see a bit more of that in the moment. BLMR and Slink getting really aggressive, and Rocks, FN and Co need to be careful. Danlock's actually going to be knocked, and they're in a little bit of trouble. Switch over to Crashkey, Codex, and Diablo.
Of course, and before we jump into more action, hopefully they'll hold off for just a second. This is your last opportunity to do exclamation mark points. Check how many points you've got, and of course, exclamation mark ticket. Get yourself a ticket, because it's your last opportunity to get your hands on an opportunity of winning a Razer Viper. Nonetheless, back to the action. And I could not be more excited for this one, because final moments by the looks of things. Looking at the amount of teams and the space that we've got left in the circle, you know, it isn't too likely for these sides to walk into many gunfights as of right now, because of the amount of space. But as this closes in, as you're about to see, this next zone is going to force so many people together at the same time. And wow, that zone is going to hurt a lot of teams. Looking at the map there, as you can see in the bottom right, there are only about 4 teams in the zone. Everyone else is so distant from it. That means 15 other teams have to run on in and have to find their way into survival, because of course, now that players like the team of Berzimont can run on in and just hold their line, it becomes 10 times harder for teams to rotate. Nonetheless, BLMR just going to watch his teammate fire off a couple of shots. Nothing to be made of it, though. And by the looks of things, it is going to be the rotate crash key. I just saw an impulse there by the looks of things. Maybe a jump pad as well used to try and get himself within the zone. And there you go. Lots of teams rotating, using this rotating utility to get themselves on forward. BLM actually going to assist his teammates in popping a rift, and they're going to make their way on. And this is an opportunity, because BLM's dropped on their opponents. They've got to be cautious of above, and at the same time, I feel like this is going to be the end of that engagement. But that could have been very scary, because they've got to be careful now. People are above, and a huge shot from BLM once again. 35 shield knocked off, and Nortley leaves them scratching their heads, wondering what on earth just happened, because you blink and you miss it. They got absolutely dunked on.
And yeah, literally just charged shotgun coming down on top, hitting an insane shot. It's absolutely insane, really, just to see that how much damage that charged shotgun can do. Once you charge it up, you know, it can really crack your opponent, take so much health off them. Of course, BLM did not push after he hit the shot, but you know, just let them know, you know, we're above you, we're here. You know, you'd want to be afraid of us. And as we see, the storm is beginning to move in. Everyone beginning to get or try and challenge for a little bit of high ground as we go to Guno and his teammates, who are having a look, seeing if they can spot out anyone rotating in. Everyone seems to be boxed up for the moment. 9 seconds before the 6th circle begins to move, and it will begin to move on over to Lazy Lake. 44 players left in the server, so it's still very populated for a Storm 6. Everyone rotating in, the Rift Fish being used, and now Bruno will begin to spam it. As I said, you know, it being very populated, the damage threshold, the Storm Surge will come on in. Bruno trying to find, he's tagged up Chow now for an awful lot, but won't be able to find the kill. The Rift Fish gonna come in now as well, as everyone begins to rotate in, and this is gonna be some battle for high ground, because everyone wants it. Everyone seems to be rifting so much with it. Look at the congestion there towards the top of the map. Everyone building up, trying to get on top of each other, trying to get an advantage, as Redful is going to begin to fly on in. He's going to begin his build. Have a look maybe for somebody. Pepino picking up a full kill there on Slink, I believe, as now he is going to begin to get pressured. Redful looking for him, spraying into his box, forcing him to drop down and disengage. Doesn't want to take that fight, of course, especially after, you know, taking so much damage in his last fight. We are going to see another rift from Pepino as well, as now teams are just going to begin to tarp in. They're going to rotate in, use their bounce pads to get in if at all possible. Rico's now just flying in on down below. 16 teams left remaining. Storm Surge still active, so people will need to get above that damage threshold if at all possible, as now heals come in, the tarps come in. They're in a good position here. That team down below, they're already in the circle, could maybe open up a bit of their build and start spraying out below, as Pepino now gets up on top of height. P90 Rupa now there to support him. They have lost Zalo though, and they're actually getting landed on. Pepino needs to be careful here. 23 HP, just about surviving. Got a shockwave into the air and actually going to shockwave away. One bullet will do it. He's on 3 HP. Drops the slurp, or the splashes should I say. Just about lives to fight another day.
Yeah, I mean, that was quite close. Pepino, by the hairs on his chin, survives that one, but he's able to heal back up and get back into the action. Going to try and get to his teammate now. There's a lot of bodies falling in the later stages. There's not too many teams remaining on the server. Alex going to drop on down, looking to help his teammates on out as they do get a res. They're going to use the splashes to try and get themselves a little higher in terms of shield. And now this is where things get interesting, because in 5 seconds time the whole storm will close in, and by the looks of things, the amount of players remaining, we're going to be looking at a heal off. Who will be the man to find it? Everyone needs to go huge here if they want to make their move on forward. BLM, the man who originally didn't start in the best of ways, only 3 kills on his team, looking to try and make placement points happen now. They've got 1:12 until the full zone closes. My favourites by the looks of things, Pepino, as they look to try and take a quick kill. Unfortunately, missed opportunity for them now as they'll look to try and contain themselves. Huge shots. Sodex is no more. That's a huge kill to get 3 kills on Pepino now as they'll continue their aggression on forward. In the meantime, Crate going to take the high ground, spamming on down, going to destroy a bit of the metal, going to try and hack down the builds as well. This could be a huge fight. Crate, I think he's forced to back away here. I don't think this is an opportunity for him to try and take and hit win. He is going to get caught out in the open and built right into someone else's box. Pepino in the meantime falls. He's going to be dropped out of the server as well. 4 teams remain, 8 players in the server. I said it was going to be a heal off, and by the looks of things, at the rate it's currently going, we might just see ourselves in a scenario in which we don't even need a heal off. It might just go to the final whistle before it's even over. 7 players remain, 20 seconds on the clock. It is going to be Percival that's going to try and out heal the storm. By the looks of things, he is going to try and get out of the scenario that he's currently in. but Codex, the last man remaining, is at least inside the zone. Got to be careful, and that is it. It is going to be the win in the favor, of course, of the Crashkey Codex side. Congratulations to them, and we'll have to wait and see what the scores on the doors are for that one. Let's see what happens as we'll jump to hopefully the scoreboard very shortly to get the final results. But I mean, it was a messy game. I didn't see any high performers, but most certainly that was an opportunity for every team to try and claw back into this one. And Jack, I know you're a man that plays a lot more than me, at least at this game, and I want to get your thoughts on this one, because I don't think it was like the other 4 games. I felt like things were a lot slower.
Yeah, I felt like it was a lot slower. Once it got into the end game, of course, it's going to be hectic. It's very rarely slow, especially, in competitive Fortnite, once you get into those final zones, as we now move over to Intel moments. But, it was really impressive just to see, Crashkey, it wasn't the 33 kill game, the 35 kill game that we've seen. It was just, standard 9 kills, pretty impressive still, all the same. 9 kills, 45 points, and then you get the victory on top of that, all the placement points. It's still a pretty big game, like it's nothing to be sneered at, so to say. And as we sit still and have a look here, Sub-Zero, of course, getting aggressive early on. Some nice early game plays now towards the top side of the map. Sub-Zero, I believe, goes down here, and I believe this team lose their life very, very early. Oh no, actually Gary on top, and actually Apopoa come out on top in this exchange. But yeah, it was really, really impressive, and it was a nice change of pace to see.
Yeah, and just a little side note, as this continues to go on down, if you missed any game, of course, this is your highlights. Congratulations to Terrastius14, the winner of the Razer Viper mouse. Congratulations to you, my friend. Make sure to have your whispers on. Someone will contact you very, very shortly regarding how to claim that. Nonetheless, though, we're looking at an amazing game. I mean, what a series this has been. 5 games of absolute carnage. We've gone from a mad amount of action to little to none, and back to the end game in a blink of an eye, and you see teams absolutely dominate, I would say. And so congratulations to those. We'll get the leaderboard up just after this, so you guys can view who's up top. And I mean, look at this positioning from Guno. Not only do they have the best position for zone, they also have a great position when it comes to all these people that rifted, and he had an opportunity to do a lot more damage. Unfortunately, aim wasn't quite there, but still made it work. Pepino, this moment here when he got absolutely jumped, used his utility well, got out of the scenario, boxed up, managed to heal up, no problems at all. And at this point, I mean, there was 1:08 until the circle closed completely. And, teams were definitely looking to make it work, make it happen, and try and out-heal the Storm. And then all of this happened at one go. You blinked here at 30 seconds, and everyone just absolutely decimated around the map. As you can see right now, the remaining last few stages. And with that, it was the end of Game 5. Fortunately for the victors, they got themselves a couple more points on the board. As you know, the points from the pre-game first place meant so much. And here you saw Percival, his final moments before death, where it was passed over to the victors, Codex and Co, who took the victory royale, which of course means they took the large amounts of points home. Thank you, Intel, for providing that. But hopefully, in just a second, we're going to get the scoreboard up, and we'll be able to see who our champions of the first day are. Of course, it doesn't matter if you're the champions of the first day. All that matters is that you're in that top 500, because of course, as you can see on screen right now, we've got 6 tournaments worth. We've got 3 days on each one. You qualify for the second tournament, that's top 500. And if you can make it to the third day, the top 33 trios make it. And of course, if you didn't sign up for this one, you can see the dates and the times on screen right now, exactly on when you can sign up to the next tournament and possibly give a shot at winning 6,600 euros for your trio.
Yeah, as you said there, if you didn't make it into the top 500 today, unlucky to you guys. But of course, we still have 5 other tournaments that you can enter. So make sure to go ahead and enter below. Just click the link. I believe it is under the stream. You sign up, and you might have another crack at it. I'm just having a quick look at the leaderboard over here. Tayson and Uguay actually won their 4th game as well. 36 kills coming out there, a whopping 703 points. They are topping the first day. Absolutely fantastic. 197 points between them and second place. I mean, that is absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely insane. And they only played 4 games. So
yeah,
I really expect big things to come from them tomorrow. But that being said now, you know, these lobbies tomorrow, there's only 500 trios going to be there, so the caliber of player is going to be a lot higher. I believe we had in and around 1,500 trios entered in this tournament, so the caliber of player is going to increase, and I don't think we're going to see that kind of domination from them again, because they will be coming up against, you know, players like Janice, players like Navi Putrik, you know, people that are going to cause them problems, and we could actually see somebody else at the top, and maybe they might not even make the top 33, but we will see tomorrow.
Of course, and as you mentioned, congratulations to them. Congratulations to the top 500, and of course, as we just said, you can sign up to the other weeks. Just scroll on down to the panel section down below. But that's all we've got time for today. Thank you everyone for tuning in to the Razer Invitational Europe. It has been a pleasure. Of course, Ryan Retrobone on myself, joined by Jack Surfer Kelly. And we'll be back tomorrow with the action. Make sure to follow the Razer channel. Stay here. Make sure to join on Twitch to join all the giveaways tomorrow, where we kick things off with a bang. And as you mentioned, the quality is going to be higher. The top 500 competing, and only the top 33 will make it out of the second day. Nonetheless, thank you to everyone, and we shall see you all very, very soon. Take care, and bye-bye.
See ya.